TVs. Plus, enjoy delicious food and beverages, dedicated horse player hosts, and more. Experience the excitement of simulcast horse racing 7 days a week, as well as 800.
Crossover. Oh, killer crossover. Just crossover. It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
The crossover is powered by Everlow Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlowconcrete.com. Good morning.
Hello.
Have you I knew you were perusing the Nebraska baseball schedule.
Yeah.
Did you do win-loss?
I haven't gone game by game yet.
What do you
That's
got?
coming up today.
You got about 42, 43 wins on the docket.
I got to exceed from last year.
What's your field of 64 look like?
Yeah, we got to do our Omaha 8.
Do you see Nebraska's path to
I do.
Okay.
I do.
All right.
I do.
Are they hosting?
Yeah,
Okay.
certainly. I mean, they got to get through that tough stretch of Northwestern, Kansas, and Maryland, all in 8 days. Just tricky.
Yep.
Tricky.
Grind. Gonna be jet lagged coming off that West Coast trip though too.
By the way, in Oregon State, I hope the weather's good and be a good crowd because Oregon State actually might be better than they were last year.
No,
They were
Bazana.
super regional. They lost the number one pick.
Yeah, he's with Cleveland.
But they could be better.
They could
baseball.
What makes you say that?
Yeah.
They didn't lose hardly anything.
Yeah, they're pretty pumped with what they have.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I don't know what Oregon State feels about things, so thank you for telling me. I didn't.
Oh, what? Because they're not in a power four. So
I was talking about.
Or are you saying Nebraska's excited?
I was talking about Nebraska's very excited about what
that
they
makes
have.
more
Yes.
sense.
Yes, that's what I was talking.
That makes more sense.
Oh.
They're going to. They're also going to the MLB Dessert Invitational.
Yeah, the dessert, which the field will be officially released in January.
It's pretty cool because.
Do we have any idea who's in that?
I've been hinted that there's a couple of well-known SEC teams.
I was looking at 2024, and the field left something to be desired.
Vanderbilt's in it.
Yes,
Nebraska's playing Vanderbilt.
Vandy.
I don't know what day.
Well, they're also playing LeSue.
They are. They're playing at Louisiana.
Will the Whistler be there?
Yeah. I don't know if he makes it down to the desert.
He's
Classic.
alive, right?
He doesn't usually.
He
hang
is
out in
alive. That was
Tempe.
fake.
Okay.
He is alive and well and has not been back to Omaha. And a lot of people are very excited about that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I could see him making the Tempe, Arizona, out there. I bet he'll be out there.
March 4th at Omaha.
Be cold.
Watch out, Darren Ruff. He's got the plans.
We were discussing. Has
Ready to hit a postseason home run.
Creighton made this great hire.
Yeah.
And then there has been no news.
What do you
Did
mean
they
by
take
that?
the last couple of months off?
No. What do you mean?
There has been no news.
Has there been any news on college baseball at all?
today.
Yeah.
Nebraska signing
Right.
guys. They honor the baseball team in the football game. The
Creighton
other night.
got all their
That's
they
right.
got all their portal guys back, except for the ones they didn't.
That's why it's telling. Yeah, except for the guy. There's a there's a catcher in Lincoln right now.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah,
The Stephen A. Smith of Omaha.
Yeah.
Great comment.
except for the ones that they didn't. No, I agree. Gary brought that up, and I thought, yeah, there's not a whole heck of a lot of college baseball chatter around this time, but you usually get like something, and there's just like been nothing.
Well, fall ball is the fall World Series are just starting up.
SEC schedule came out. Texas at Texas A&M.
Oh, late in the year or
Kind of late. Yeah.
Okay.
Texas at Texas A&M.
No, that
Interesting.
doesn't sound right. It sounds. I think it might be the other way around. I'm sorry.
Well, that's
Oh.
no fun.
Yeah.
yeah, you got to have that in College Station.
I remember reading it and going, "Oh, that's less fun than it could be."
Jim Schlossnagle walks in. He's like, "Look at this crap hole ballpark. not even fully upgraded."
Didn't they? I wonder if aren't they going to start their remodel before the season?
I don't
So
know.
he'll walk in and they'll like have the walk around concourse.
They've done like 100 revamps of that place.
It's in Austin in late April.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Come on,
That's not
Sankey.
good.
We should have told him that when he was
Yeah,
here last.
At least they were making Calipari go to Lexington.
yeah,
You got to return to the scene of the crime.
you do. You have
Yep.
to.
I mean, that you're going to take your medicine. You're going to take the money and the bump. Well, you got to
They
go
made
back.
they made
the
respect
walk
to
of
Ed
shame.
Cooley go back to Providence.
Yep.
That was a banger of a
And the
game.
fans let him hear it.
That was a blank show.
They gave him the business.
They sure did, and we don't think Mr. Schloss
Jim
deserves the
Schlossnagle
business.
he deserves the business.
Yeah, give him the
Yep.
business.
He deserves the business.
As I was out and about yesterday, as the olds call it, running errands.
Yeah.
Um,
Young's called that too.
I realized. Do you know that subtly there is a great American competition at the gas pump, at the convenience store, and that there is a skill that not many people have to
Stop it at the
end
zero.
up on a 0
Yes.
or a 5. And do you realize that
It's
if
just
you,
a zero.
if
I
you
do
go
0.
over, I do the 5
Why a
Like
I'm a
five?
0 and 5
like a 50?
Why a 5?
Yeah, like what? Yeah, like
because
a 50.
it's a 0 or a 5.
Like
You-
5
so-
cents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so- wait.
A
no.
0 or a 5.
No. You go to
You
the
go
zero.
either 20 on the dot or 2050.
I do a 5 as well.
You do a 2005.
2005.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
Anybody, I feel
Yes.
like anybody could do a 05.
Okay, where it ruins your day is because I'm good at this. I mean, I have like a streak. I don't know how far it goes back. It's pre-COVID
Yeah.
that I have been able to handle the gas pump
Yeah.
where I don't have the penny.
Yeah, because
Because if you have the penny, you either have to start over
yeah, but Gary,
and or ruins your day.
cheated the system.
You get in your car and you drive home.
you've cheated
and,
the
and you've
system.
gone a penny over.
Yeah.
That
The penny
if you
over is
go
kind of-
over a penny,
You
it
just keep
sticks
going.
with you.
No.
Just keep going.
You have allowed yourself to go to the 05, which is just a safety net if you go past
It
the
is.
00.
I agree.
No.
You have to
I
go
agree.
to the next
no,
dollar.
Yeah.
no.
You go.
No.
You go to the next.
No, it
half
takes
dollar.
a special skill to get to the 5 because it's a double squeeze.
No, because if you're
Mm.
going over 00 and you have 05 at your leisure, at your disposal, it's easy.
Yeah, when
like
you
it.
get, when you
You'll
get to
never
nine,
miss.
when you
I
get to
like the extra
97,
gas.
you don't have to be completely like kid gloves on it. You
Exactly.
can just go. Zzz.
Exactly.
You
Part
get
of it
one
is the
full little-
pressure of
Yeah.
knowing that you have to go to the next full dollar if you miss
The
the
worst
zero.
is when you get to like 2601. Then I'm like, well, now I gotta spend $27 because I can't just stop here. I got to go up to the next dollar. Then
Oh.
I'm afraid that I'm going to overflow it. That's going to happen.
That's
And then
never
it's-
going to happen.
And then it's shame.
It'll never overflow. You could put as much
I
gas
know.
as you want in
It's
your gas
true.
tank. It's never coming over
I've
the
never
top.
had it overflow.
No.
I thought it would happen.
You've overflowed? You're
You're-
not even good at this.
I am very good.
You
I have
pull-
a streak.
You pulled a Harry
Oh.
Dunham with shagging wagon.
I have a streak before COVID of not hitting the penny. What do you mean I'm not very good at this? I'm perfect. I handle the pump really well. It's a squeeze. I know everything. I'm like, do. I watch it come down. You know what? Also, I rain down shame on the person that comes before me. And I go up to the pump because I always check out
Yeah.
how much they were.
Yeah.
And it might be like into
Like
the
7.
penny.
He's like,
or
what
a
is this
3.
garbage? Why
Yeah.
does this say 2641? What is this? This
Have-
is nothing.
Have you ever gotten really cocky though with it? Where you're like, okay, I'm feeling the handle on this thing. You get to like say you're going to go $30. You're like at $29.80, and then
You
as
just
you're
let it
getting,
ride?
you let it ride, and then you stop it, and somehow it stops right on zeros.
Oh, yeah.
Take your ass to the casino. after
I
that.
had a
Oh, yeah.
Rogue my 2 vehicles ago that, I put in the pump and I was just looking to fill it up. So it was not the official game,
Yeah.
but I did come back and I screwed with it where I got to the 0
Wasn't the
because I
official
had to, because it was running and I come out and I see like gas like not flowing, but is like coming down the side of my gas tank. And I'm like, what the?
Get a little dribbler.
So I did
That's kind of
get it to the
embarrassing.
0.
It is.
I got me 4 more cents of gas.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that gas went, but I
Yeah.
could not leave it saying 96.
No, not at all.
They're all out. They only got diesel.
But do you think this skill that we all have, or at least some of us have in this room, do you think young kids understand this? How important it is to be the 0 and to not go over?
I don't
hope
know
so.
what the kids feel about this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I remember when I was a kid thinking that, you got to whatever. I wasn't necessarily playing the game, but I was always trying to get the very last drop of gas out. So as you pulled it out, or
You tap it on the side.
You tap it so you make
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
getting all possibly in. Now, I learned later in life, the adults I saw doing that are probably just doing that so it doesn't get on their car,
No.
their hands. But I always thought, hey, waste not, what not. I mean,
at some pumps they tell
every
you
drip.
At some pumps they tell you to not top it off. Is there a reason for this?
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't either.
Is there some sort of a safety thing in there where you're like, I guess they just don't want gas to go everywhere. Maybe that's it.
Suppose.
Somebody comes by with a cigarette.
Yep. A lot of people are lighting them up.
Or as I was told one time by a customer, because I was talking on my cell phone, that I could ignite the gas and blow up.
Yes, they tell you not to use your cell
Yep,
phone.
don't use your cell phone.
They did that on Mythbusters. It's not real.
They used to have the signs.
Well, that's
that
what
would
I
say
thought.
that. There would be signs that would say that. I don't see those signs anymore.
No, I don't see the signs either.
Mhm.
Just imagine if you lived in a state where they have to pump your gas for you
Oh
and
my
you didn't get
gosh.
this at all.
Well, have you gone across the street?
Yeah, I don't
They-
think that I've ever
full
gotten
service?
gas there. Yeah,
They pump your gas across
Oh,
the
wow.
street.
yeah, that's crazy to me. Never live in New Jersey. I think New Jersey and Oregon
Yep.
are maybe the 2 states
And
that we have left.
One of those just changed, right? And- 'cause
Yeah, that sounds right.
I remember seeing videos of people reacting to having their gas, having to pump their own gas, and they just couldn't figure it out.
Sickening.
I loved when I was growing up when the guy would come by and he would squeegee the windshield.
That's nice.
I thought that was really cool. I
The
always found
homeless
that
guy at the intersection.
it
Oh.
wasn't no this maybe he was, but he seemed to have an official like attire on from the gas station. But when he would squeegee that thing and he did it was like a science.
It's really a
I
great
was
deal.
always impressed by
You could
that.
pay those guys any amount of money.
I know it's donate. Yeah, it's
They'll
like
be- yeah.
it's like a donation.
Free
It's,
will.
it's not like it costs you this much. It's just
So do
free
you
will
think
donation.
our panhandlers are Nebraska nice? Because none of them clean your windows.
Yeah, they don't do
Nope,
anything.
they don't do windows.
No, they just have messages they like to convey.
Yeah.
Brian writes in.
Do you
Hi, Brian.
do you read those messages?
I read the signs.
Oh
that they,
yeah, you
that
got
they
to read
put
the
up.
sign.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that they want to say.
Mhm.
That's all. Here's Brian. 0 is child's play. Real adults fill the tank and let it stop where it stops. Now, just to be clear here, we are filling the tank and
Yes.
it does stop, but
Yeah.
then there's more on top of that.
Yes. You
So
can't-
maybe Brian's talking about like filling it to the brim, just
Oh.
like all the way.
Oh, there's times I've had to fill to the brim because I had to get the number.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
When it stops,
Brian, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's full. It's full, baby.
yeah.
Don't worry.
I'm
Let's
leaving no space in that tank.
Joel sends us a screenshot from our friends from AAA.
Oh.
Topping off your gas tank is a bad idea for the following reasons. There's 3 reasons. Spilled gasoline and escape vapors are environmentally harmful. Okay, don't care about that.
Sounds right.
2, overfilling saturates your vehicle's vapor recovery system, which can lead to permanent damage and avoidable repairs. That feels like a bluff. 3, gas stations are equipped with vapor recovery systems that recover gas pumped after the automatic shutoff. Interesting.
What?
Topping off means you're paying for gas that's going back into the station's tanks.
No,
That
if I squeeze,
still gas.
Scare tactic.
Yeah.
This is a scare tactic.
Yeah.
So are they saying like they dilute the gas after it?
Apparently.
Wow. Okay, that's a game changer if that's true. Also seems like a bluff for the record.
Yeah.
I think these are all questions like when you go to Casey's
It's like
to
when you
get
pee
gas.
in the pool, the water turns blue.
Yes, exactly. You're told that was always the thing.
Not
That
true.
was scary.
Not true.
I think this is like these questions about gas are great, like at a Casey's today, to go in and ask the attendant at the Casey's.
Oh, Gary, you
Especially
know
when
they're
the-
not going to know what's
Especially
what.
when there's a line.
What did you say about the Casey's attendant?
You know, like you should bring up these questions like, hey, if I top off, will it go back? Do you get the vapors
Don't go into the
Yeah.
gas station.
Have you noticed the vapors wreaking havoc on this here institution? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you had vapor trouble?
Is
lately?
it when I go to the gas station, I do smell the vapors. It's true. I love the vapors.
Your physician detected any vapor.
Well, I don't like
issues?
to piddle also because then you smell like gas. You get in your car and maybe gas got on your shoe.
Yeah. that's-
It's really
then you
just
smell
the
like gas.
hands.
Oh, it's the worst on a windy day too when you're going from tank to holster, like, and all of a sudden it catches a drip, and blows on you.
Not good.
Bring it.
No,
Just that little
I'm
drip
fine with it.
alone is gonna wreak havoc on you.
We all sound like professional gas pumpers.
Mhm.
But you know, when we were
Take it
young,
serious. I think
Nebraskans.
we
But you
sound like
know-
people who take it serious.
but you know, when you were young, first of all, it's really cool. Like the first time you were allowed, like in your parents' car, hey, would you like to pump the gas? You jump out and you're like,
yeah,
and then you have no idea, push buttons.
yeah, like what?
But to see some of the fine youth of America that pull up to a gas station, one, we've all been there. You have to go and prepay.
Mhm.
So you have to take your $10 in and go, I'd like $10 on pump 8. So it gets me like 5 more miles till I
Right.
get my next check.
Yeah,
We've all
then-
been there. We've all been
But
there.
then,
we have.
you know, here's kids out there. We used to not have the little arrow on our dashboard that
Yeah.
said where our gas tank
Yep.
was.
You'd be like,
And if you didn't know,
"Oh,
you were
crap."
screwed and you were on the wrong side. And then maybe you tried to pull the pump,
only
the
at
gas-
only at
the
Costco.
gas pump over the top of the car and try and stick it in the side.
Yep.
Mm.
Like, oh, I wonder if I can reach.
See, I'm
Is
not
that really-
familiar with that society. I've always had a car that's had the it warned me.
I did not.
Really?
It
Yeah,
always
I
told
did
me.
not when I was.
I-
Now,
young.
with that being said, I've still pulled up to the wrong side occasionally, but yeah.
When I got
It's
my
fixable.
first vehicle not too long ago that had like the arrow on where I was
Yeah.
like, that's awesome.
Okay, so
And then I
what's
got
that arrow mean?
Oh,
Yeah, I
hey,
never
I
knew what that meant.
upgraded. And then you get the vehicle that tells you how many miles you have left
Yep.
before you're empty.
and then you play that game. Have you ever played that game?
Oh,
You're like,
what?
oh,
Yeah, that thing's a liar too.
It is. It is a liar. It's a big scare tactic. It's like 2 miles. It's more like 22 miles.
There's a lot in the gas
Yeah,
world that's just trying to
Hey,
scare us.
But mine plays tricks with me because once you get to 15, it
It just
disappears.
yeah. When
It just says low.
that my wife's Nissan does that too. She has a Murano. The same thing. It was at 19, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I know I need to get gas for her, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. I'm like, oh, there's a mystery. They
Mm.
could go out at any time. I
But-
wouldn't know.
I ran out of gas numerous times when I was in college.
It's happened to me once.
Like
I've
on
never
the,
run
inter-
out
like
of
on the
gas.
interstate.
I don't think that
Yeah.
I ever will run out of gas.
That's good.
I'll never.
I don't
I'll
think.
never
I don't
run out
think
of
now.
gas.
I think if
You
you're
and Shay,
if you're going to
Fan
run out
Shay.
of gas, it was probably in your days of where you were going to take that thing to the very limit.
Yeah, I don't. But I always thought, even then,
Push it to the limit.
it doesn't make any difference because I'm going to have to spend the money at some point.
Well, yeah.
You know, it doesn't save me.
So are you? So
Aren't you
I know
curious,
I
though?
have a friend, and she will, once the gas tank gets to half full, she'll go to the gas station.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
a 3/4
yeah.
guy. Like, it's on my radar at 3/4, and then when it gets down to an eighth, it's like the buzzers are going off in my head.
I'm typically when the light comes on, or if I see that I'm under 50 miles till empty, then I'm like, okay, I'll go get it.
Yeah, I stay on top of these things. It's just
You're going to make a good parent.
hopefully I already am.
It makes up for
Aw.
what you said yesterday. Adventureland came after us yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah.
Did they reach out?
You know that admission's only $25 and you can get coupons in Omaha.
Okay, now you've been paid off. Just-
I've never been paid off.
Hashtag
guys,
ad.
guys,
I just read an email
I
from somebody that's involved with Adventureland that like 1620. I was like, that's cool.
have breaking news.
Yeah.
All right. This is a perfect crossover, specifically this crossover. Epley Airfield has good noise by everybody. Epley Airfield has announced that coming in 2027 and 2028, when the
Yeah.
new airport is done,
Yep.
in the very distant future, they will have many new concessions options.
Oh, what do we got?
at the airport
Oh,
with some local flair?
Yeah.
All right.
is my craft beer?
So
thing
we already
coming-
got a
coming alive?
Scooters. We already got a Scooters coffee in
Yeah.
there.
Crackies.
It's coming back. It'll be
Okay.
back. I'm not sure what that one is. What's that chicken right there?
Probably cracky. That's probably what
Chicken
Cracky-
guy.
Oh, chicken.
Okay, chicken guy.
Mm.
We will have an
Related
option
to the
at.
Pancake Man.
Does he have a storefront?
he's a pancake man. I'm a chicken
I'm
guy.
a chicken guy.
Of course, Hudson News will still be there.
Well, yeah.
Of course.
But you will be able to get an acai bowl.
Oh, a nice.
Whoa,
From
whoa, whoa.
Sembazan
Okay.
acai bowls.
Hold on. We got to go back to Chicken Guy.
Chicken guy.
That's Guy Fieri's chicken strip restaurant.
Whoa!
Hello.
Ooh.
Look at our airport.
Damn.
But here's where it gets good. Runza
Of
in the
course.
airport.
Of course.
Makes sense.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Of course.
Fernando's in the airport.
Fernando.
dang.
Okay.
Good for them.
Pitch in the airport.
Okay.
All right. Look, man.
And Block 16
no.
in
Oh.
the airport.
Wow.
Oh,
That's huge.
might be easier to go to Block 16 at the airport and get a good one.
So
Same thing
for-
with Runza.
So
Yeah.
for lunch,
What if people just come here, get off the plane, grab a Runza, go back home?
Oh, I'm
You
gonna
can
get
fly
my,
Southwest for $48.
it's happening.
I want to get my croquant
How
at
many,
the airport. Let's go.
How many Omahans will just go to the airport for lunch?
I might just go to Block 16 at the airport.
Now, I don't know if this is
Now,
past.
parking might cost me $16, but man, Block 16 at the airport.
Yeah.
Is this past security or I imagine this is past security
Ah, damn it.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
because it's a single terminal, right? We're going single terminal.
Yes, I believe so.
So you go in, one spot,
Okay.
security's right
Nice.
there. You go through.
Wow.
And only then do you have options to use our airport dining.
Pitch Block 16 and runs up?
Panda
That's a
Express,
good representative of
Panda
Omaha.
Express.
the Mill, whatever this plum is, there's two of them. Plum,
Two plums.
two plum markets, two
Wow,
plum
I don't know-
markets.
I don't know what that is.
I don't even.
I assume that's just like bags of chips and
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, you get some Twizzlers
Wasn't there
before you
supposed?
go on the plane.
Okay, I'd heard there was supposed to be a beer stop that was going to have like local beers. I'd heard that was talked about.
Well, Block 16 serves beer.
That's true, they
Pitch
do.
serves beer.
Yeah, and they usually.
I
do
would
the
imagine
local
they do
stuff.
like a big pitch, like with the bar,
Yeah.
and here's the wood fire,
Yeah.
whatever.
That'll be
So a
pretty
couple
nice.
of real sit-down
Maybe you can get your
restaurants.
beer at Panda Express or the Chicken Guy.
chicken guy.
We're chicken guys.
Chicken gee.
Chicken Guy.
As
Plum
Gary
Market-
likes to call guy gee.
Is a national award-winning gourmet market with full-service bar.
Hello.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
Well, there it is. Then.
Featured brands, Connor, at these local establishments:
Bud Light.
Brickway,
Oh,
Cross Strain, Lucky Bucket.
Okay.
okay.
must-
So we're
Connor-
going local.
Connor,
Yes.
Bagel Bin.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Whoa!
A
Are you
bagel bin?
serious?
Uh-huh.
We're going to have bagel bin options at our airport?
That's right.
That is going to be gigantic for a
God,
6 o'clock
I
flight.
think I just want to fly everywhere now. I might just hang out at the airport.
We are so back. We are so back.
Man.
There's also going to be something called 50th Street Market, which is really just going to confuse people who don't know where they're at. Oh, I must be on 50th Street.
Yeah.
They're at 50th Street Market's
You're
right
like, oh
here.
yeah, it's that's where Epley's located, is on 50th Street.
Hey, good
Oh
on
my God.
well,
good
we are
on,
back.
Epley Airfield.
Yeah, this is
These
exciting.
are some bangers of local restaurants.
Yes, it is. This is
The
exciting. Spaghetti Works, maybe.
Will the Godfathers be back?
So does this
Fun to
mean we
say.
have to say goodbye to Crackies and the flight
I know.
deck?
I do not see Cracky McGee's there.
I don't. Infringing on the
employees will be
territory of
repurposed.
Hudson News, the Bookworm
Oh.
will be there.
They're outnumbered though.
How large is this airport going to be?
That's gonna be big.
It's a single terminal. You're just gonna have more space to operate.
It's just going to be a mall.
That's what the Kansas City one is. It really you just walk through there and you're like, oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. I guess I'll get on the plane now.
Looked pretty big in that Don Bacon commercial. He's just walking through it without a hard hat, mind you.
Yeah.
Feels like a hard hat area.
But he
Should've been.
he brought that airport, that funding to the airport.
yeah, all
to
by
Omaha.
himself.
The 19 dining
Just
and
repeating the commercial. That's what it is.
retail locations in the Epley Airfield concessions program will include 17 different options, with 9 that are local to Omaha. It also feature 22 local brand products offered at the various dining and retail locations throughout the terminal.
This really is exciting.
Oh my God.
I mean, I was excited about the new airport, thinking that we would get options, maybe not these specific options, but have a lot of options. Man, this is a good lineup.
Dave Roth, the chief executive officer of the Omaha Airport Authority, is talking a big game.
Hi, Dave.
He's quoted. When we requested proposals, we had a goal of choosing a variety of concepts that reflect Omaha, both in local and regional options, as well as national options for Omaha travelers. Our new concessions as part of the Build Omaha Terminal Modernization Program will move us forward in our vision to be the best airport in the Midwest.
I believe he's also promised an NHL team.
Is that guy?
I think they're different people.
We're gonna get a hockey team here.
We're gonna have a lot. We're gonna have
Have them play at the airport.
Yeah, when you're talking about just different developments in Omaha, then you just throw in at the very end of every conversation. And we're going to bring in an NHL team.
Get Carter Lake out. Put an NHL arena on top.
Yeah, we're already going to have Big Lake. We don't need Carter Lake anymore.
Nope, we don't need Carter Lake anymore.
Does it say about my idea of having the Omaha Sports Hall of Fame at the airport?
Doesn't say anything about that, Gary.
That's
Nothing
probably,
about
We're
it.
still working on that.
I think it's just implied. It's just going to be there. They don't even need to put press release on that. That's fine.
But some of these will be before you get to TSA, I would imagine.
Will there? No, it says it
All past TSA?
there are.
Where the hell's TSA going to be then?
It'll be like right when you walk in. It like the
You
current.
walk on the door and you're like,
No,
You get out of your car.
there's going to be a
Dude,
line
that's-
outside.
dude. That's what it is at Kansas City. Like so, where the check-in desks are right now.
Yeah, like
Like that's basically where it is in
Oh,
Kansas City.
okay.
Like you just go in and then you have access to the airport.
will they have curbside checking?
I don't know. So
I don't know if they're that big.
2 concessionaire operators will open 19 new dining and retail locations, including 16 post security.
Okay. So just a few will be before.
Chris
Probably
says,
just coffee.
Lincoln Airport update is very underrated. I'd show up 15 minutes before my flight and get through TSA. Never wanted to be there ever. With the new update, it's actually a nice setup. I don't mind showing up an hour to relax.
Yeah, you could walk. You could just walk onto the plane at Lincoln, right? Just go on out
This is
there.
really exciting. So
like drive
park-
onto the tarmac.
Park on the tarmac.
So my wife, who we used to go to Block 16 all the time because she lived right there when we first started dating. She's on a plane right now. When she lands, I'm going to tell her the news about Block 16. She's going to be really excited.
This is huge.
It is huge.
Charles says, "R.I.P. Cracky McGee's." Yeah, we got we have a
pour one out.
3-year run up.
Well, I like Gary's thought of your out of town person coming in and wanting to know if they can find the brick and mortar of Cracky McGee's. Like where's the where's the real Cracky McGee's?
You know
Like
what?
downtown.
We just had a
or
great
what?
experience at an airport beer. Uber driver, can you take us to Cracky McGee's?
But at least
Be
we
like,
get, you know how we
I can take you for a loop. We'll come right back here if that's what you want to do.
you know, the athletes have like the send off tours. We got 3 years for Crackies.
Yeah.
So that's good. I'm more of a flight deck guy myself on the other side. I'm a Terminal B guy.
Yeah, you like to fly Delta?
No, I like to fly Southwest.
Okay.
Because it's very cheap.
It is.
Well, increasingly less cheap, but
well, yeah. Now that they're not going to or they're going to have the
I know
sections.
we are changing.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Let's see.
There's something about knowing
we go
that
to
you're
the
an A-lister.
Frequently asked questions here.
Like you feel like you did something when you wake up in the morning and it's time to check in for your flight 24 hours and you make the A group. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's great.
it's like, yeah, take that.
Will there be employment opportunities with the concessionaires at the new dining and retail options? Parties interested in working at the dining and retail options for Epley Airfield can apply to work for the concessionaires,
Already?
Hudson Group, and Plum Market. To apply, visit their respective websites below.
What are they supposed to do between now and then?
These links are not clickable yet.
Okay.
Eric
I got a job. It doesn't start till 2028.
Eric says over and under on a Runza meal at the airport.
Oh, like $15.95.
$18.49.
I told you guys I went to a Blimpie and I got it for the $26 once, right?
Oh my
At the
God!
airport.
You get $26
Dude,
for a
I
blimp?
took
And
it up to the pay thing.
I like Blimpie, but
and they were like, it's 26, 20. I think it was a $24 or $26. I'm like, I just got a sandwich.
Was it okay?
And-
so it
and the
wasn't
lady
a
was
meal
like-
and everything?
I know. I'm sorry. We can send it back if you want, and you don't get it. Like you don't have to pay. You don't get a sandwich. We'll just throw the sandwich away. And I was like, well, no, I want the sandwich, but I don't want to pay $24 for it. And she's like, well, I'm sorry. This is
That's insane. Oh my God, $26?
I don't know what I screwed up on the ordering process. I
Holy
must have got too many
hell.
pickles on there or something.
That's yeah. Oh yeah. I would say a Runza combo meal it'll be inching close $20.
Good,
Easily over 15.
good Photoshop from our friend Joel.
That's a retweet.
Yeah, that's an automatic retweet right there. It's just me on the cover of the terminal with the body of Victor Navorsky. That's me. You could live there now. You could now do the terminal. He gets off the plane. His country, Krakosia, has shut down, and Stanley Tucci's running our airport, and he's like, "You can't go outside." He's like, "I go Omaha. I go Omaha." He meets what's her name? Catherine Zeta-Jones.
That's
Yeah.
right.
She's kind of a hot mess. All happening at the Omaha airport. Coming to you. Dan says Chicken Guy has just rebranded Cracky McGee's.
I mean, how does it compare to, say, Raising Cane's? That's a big deal. in
I have
Omaha,
no
too.
idea.
Same thing. I think you're getting different
How
sauces.
about this is what they should do at Cracky McGee's as a send off over 3 years. Like if you are an Omahan, you get like a cheaper beer.
Yep, you should.
Oh,
If you can just present your driver's license and it's got even a Nebraska driver's license, doesn't have to be Omaha.
Is Cracky McGee's on social media?
I'm going to say no.
Judging by the times that I've
Yeah.
interacted with them, probably not.
Yeah, they might still be on MySpace. That's going to be my guess.
That would be the first question. Like, I imagine they're going to have a press conference, right, to announce all these exciting.
Yeah, they should.
I think
John
one
Bacon could talk about it a lot.
I think Mike McKnight should be like, "What happened to Cracky McGee?"
Yeah.
Mike's probably listening.
Yeah.
Mike,
Did big local
Get on it.
businesses just muscle out Cracky McGee's?
There's
6 on
only-
your side.
There's only 10 Chicken Guy locations across the
So
country.
we're getting
And
one of
one
them.
of them's in our airport.
Going to
will
be.
the
Oh my
11th. Yeah.
We might get the swim trials back now.
LAX, FedEx Field, Levi's Stadium, Caesar's Palace.
Oh my God.
Are we the only airport?
No. LAX.
Is it
Oh, you said LA.
Is it the real Caesars?
Did Caesar live here?
I know you get this a lot.
Can't get a SIG on my beeper.
Look at that.
Like a bank phone.
Yeah.
Which Big Ten coach are you that still has a beeper?
Featured local brands bagel bin. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
They're gonna have Scooters and Starbucks.
Well, it's like
Man, that's a rivalry.
yeah, I don't. It won't be a full like bagel bin storefront, but I imagine they'll sell their bagels at these various places.
Will they have like the front of the store, the lead up to the counter, just like their parking lot? Over off of a
It's
Civic?
a gigantic ramp into outer
It
space.
should be, yeah. Or you're
There's
waiting-
ice
you're
on
waiting
it just
in
for fun.
line- wait in line like this, and then so we could be like, can you
There is
imagine
the
this in
big
winter?
ramp coming out of the terminals.
Yeah.
Everybody's huge wheeled luggage is rolling
Yeah.
down there.
Oh no!
I don't get it. Well, if you know, you know. If you're from
Exactly.
Omaha,
Yeah, you just have to go on the other
You
side.
really gotta, you gotta bring the experience.
If you want to go to Bagel Bin, you have to have 4-wheel drive.
Yep.
These are the rules.
there's just like a loading zone for your suitcases because they can't go up on the ramp.
This is exciting, and I'm glad we got to break this news here
This
on
is very exciting.
this crossover. I'm going to keep.
You know how many
Josh,
times
I'm going to keep this tab.
I've
up
always
all
said I
day.
wanted to block 16 a little bit more out west. Now it's not coming out any more
How-
west. In fact, it's going more
Yeah.
east.
I-
But there's another location now.
Yes.
Oh
I
my
would have
gosh.
not pegged that Block 16 there when they expand, they go to the airport instead of out west.
Yeah, I agree. But keeping it close though to one another, maybe that's a good thing.
People are going to fall in love with food in Omaha.
Man.
They're never going to want to leave.
Those people
They're gonna
coming in
keep
from
coming back.
Florida having a croissant, you're gonna love it. Pitch, that's real. I'm excited.
I
to see what
can't believe
pitch
this is
looks like
all
there.
happening to us.
Man,
I'm filled with such pride.
I am too. I am
filled with
too.
Just imagine that we
You know,
we can actually
hey.
say we're going to have a good
Hey.
airport.
For the
Yes.
next 3 years, you know where your pride will be is trying to navigate that airport right
That's
now.
true.
Right now,
Yeah.
yes, I will be incredibly angry
Cursing
at our
that
airport
thing.
for the next 3 years,
Yeah.
but it'll be worth it in the end. Look at what happened to Kansas City. Now Kansas City is a bustling city.
Yeah.
It's never was before.
Changes everything.
All of a sudden, they get a new
Yeah,
single
I
terminal
mean,
airport.
Kansas City.
And the
is-
Chiefs start winning Super Bowls. The Royals are good again.
So both UNO hockey and basketball are going to be making the NCAA tournament.
Creighton's
Hockey,
going to the Final
hockey,
Four.
Hockey will make the Frozen Four again.
Creighton might win
UNO
a national
basketball.
championship in
Yep,
men's
Creighton-
basketball.
Yep, Creighton will win a natty.
Creighton's going to the Final Four.
UNO's
I
going to be
mean,
in back
in
to
the
back
senior
NCAA
year of
tournaments.
Fedor Zugic.
Should we back up the fast track of Matt Rhule? It won't be until the
Until
airport opens
yeah.
up.
College football playoff when the airport officially opens.
Well, Rule is already pretty closely tied in with the Lincoln Airport. I
Yeah,
don't know
but
if he
that,
can represent Omaha.
Just like Jeff Sims, that was another bad decision in year one.
Some-
Oh, I thought you
Pretty-
were talking about Jeff Sims NIL.
he
deal,
started
too.
a whole airline, and it went belly up immediately.
Immediately.
Rule Airways.
They gave them so much money and then just
Immediately gone. So we're not giving Matt Rule a second chance on airports. I'm sorry.
Mm.
Find a different representative.
But we can at least make the correlation that when they get to the college football playoff, it will be when the airport opens up too. So we can just say
There you
that
go.
they're relatable. Yeah.
There you go.
When
big
sports in
news
our
for
state
Omaha.
just
We are
thrives.
so back.
Yep.
Not that we ever went anywhere.
Our
I mean,
airport has.
They
No,
might
our
expand.
airport
The
has been
they
gone.
might expand the College World Series so more people can come through our airport and eat our food.
Reasserting our dominance.
As long as I can
We
still
are.
park on the roof for $1 cheaper. That's all I care
Of
about.
course you are that person.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to park right next to somebody underneath. Like, if I could park on the roof by myself, what's the difference? My car's outside for 3 days. So what? It's a car.
What time of the year is this? Because I
Well,
don't know
no
about-
threat of hail. No threat of hail.
Or when
ice.
you get back and it's, rather chilly,
You got to scrape.
you got to scrape.
That's what remote starts for.
Scraping's no fun.
It's
For
not.
not to scrape.
But you don't have to scrape when you got a remote start. Sorry. I live the high life. I got
It took me a
start.
while to figure out when you pull into a parking garage. The first time I ever saw it was in Vegas. The green and red lights, I had no idea what they were.
Oh, you know what?
It just means like there's spots
They're
available.
kind of
Yeah.
a myth.
Yeah.
At least the one in the south parking garage. It'll show you some green and they're taken up.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think
Now
the
the
Vegas
north one
ones
I
are
think
on
is open.
point.
Yeah.
Like at the MGM Grand in their parking garage, they have it.
I don't know how they keep track.
Yeah, they're
there's no way
probably
they
better.
can keep
Oh,
track.
they do it by sensor.
yeah.
So
But-
you think
You think there's sensor
you
in
think
every
the parking
stall?
garages that say 65 spaces available?
I think it's a lie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's a rough estimate.
I mean, they know when people go in and out through the
Yeah.
turnstile.
But how do they know which
yeah, like what floor?
parking stall you came out of?
I might put
Yeah.
this to a test. So
I
in my
think the north
neighborhood,
one's better.
my neighborhood, we have quite a few parking garages that
Yeah.
have
You
that.
do.
Maybe I'll put it to a test.
Put
Just
one
go
there.
in and out all day long
Yeah,
and see
just-
if the number changes.
Yeah, see if it's going green, red, green, red, green, red. Yeah, because I can tell you for sure in the south garage it is. I'm like, oh, cool. There's 3 spots up ahead. Got there, they were all taken up.
We will now welcome any professional sports franchises that would like to
Oh yeah.
join up in our beautiful, beautiful
If
city.
this was
Hold
the
on.
only thing
I-
holding it back, then here we go.
Hey, hold on. Will this coincide with the A's 3-year run in Sacramento being up?
Mm.
we have an airport
We
now.
got an airport.
We have Bagel Bin at the
Oh my
airport.
gosh. I think it is. It's all coming together. That's what's happening.
That's the sell. That's the sell.
Bagel bin is like huge.
That's so big.
I hear Mason Miller loves Bagel Bin.
Really? Why? Why'd you say that? Oh, okay. Okay. Just a joke. Just a joke. All right. That's crossover. Hard by Every Level Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. We'll start things off next.
Beatrice.
For the kids and the drivers. Visit Ciderville for a refreshing apple cider and barbecue at Ethan's Applewood Smokehouse. There's so much to see and do with more than 50 other attractions included with admission. Open now.
If you love food, love farm, love Alice Pumpkin Patch, best of all.
Email any of our shows anytime into the Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. For me, John at 1620thezone.com. The Equitable Bank inbox from 1620 The Zone.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, here we go. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. Just a couple hour drive from Beatrice, Nebraska, home of Cam Jurgens and beef jerky. Beef jerky. They were still wondering if he's selling his product. Is he moving that thing?
I'm just because I'm going to mumble on Monday Night Football all night long.
Beef jerky. Is he still selling the beef jerky? Yeah, beef jerky. Eat, meat, repeat.
That's a good slogan, actually.
I bet that probably he got an influx of orders. You can get the mango habanero beef jerky for just $7.19.
Oh, that's actually a good price. Now the shipping is what's going to get
That'll
you.
probably get you good. There's a picture of him right there. Back in 1907, my great-grandfather founded Jurgens Farms in the small town of Pickrell, Nebraska. Not Pickrell, Joe Buck, Pickrell. For more than 100 years, our family has farmed cattle, corn, hay, soybeans, and more. I was raised on hard work, attention to detail, and humility. It's the same qualities I bring to the game of football, and now get to share with you through Jergy. We're ecstatic to bring you world-class products and can't wait to hear what you think. Cam Beef Jerky Jurgens, founder and CJO.
Hot honey flavor.
Yeah. He's getting some traffic after last night. There were Jason Kelsey, Joe Buck was pimping his product, but he couldn't say Beatrice. So we'd like to say a shout out to all our friends in Beatrice. And
we know you. We love you.
We got you. We know you. I know you think the big city folks don't care about you down there, but trust me, we at least know how to say your name.
Sad.
Josh, any thoughts on Beatrice?
Love it. Would love to maybe, when radio is done for me, maybe call it home.
Really interesting. Josh, I might have to ask a follow-up on that a little bit. Do you know, without Googling, which county?
Which county?
County. I did a sporkle last night. What? Of naming all the Nebraska counties. And
how'd you do?
I mean, I didn't name all of them. You have to name all 90 whatever of them. In
You're not Matt Coatney.
10. I'm not Matt Coatney. But I think I got like 30 or something like that in the span of time. It's just coming up with the names of the counties that you've seen on weather alerts for your entire life.
That is how I would do it.
Beatrice, Nebraska is, of course, the county seat of Gage County, Nebraska. Let's go down to Gage County and hear from Beatrice.
You didn't let me guess.
Oh, sorry. Well, I know you. It appears you plan to move there after.
I would consider it if if the right.
It's a nice town.
If the right piece of property came about.
It's a nice town, Josh.
Maybe go a little further south to Odell.
Now you're just looking at a map.
I'm not. Come on.
I don't know what's going on there. I could probably name you the top 15 population towns in Nebraska, and then it gets a little hairy after that. But yes, Beatrice, Nebraska got its shine last night on Monday Night Football, but unfortunately the Eagles did not. Josh, quick take, pass it or run it. 3rd and 3 at the Atlanta 12.
Well,
Falcons have 0 timeouts left.
I'm not an idiot, so I would run the football.
Josh, I don't have a problem with what they did. I don't have a problem with what they did.
if I'm going to get the ball to Saquon Barkley,
Yeah.
maybe we just run the football.
Yeah, but that's a touchdown. I mean, that's at the very least a first down. It's right to him. You've repped the play a million times.
Now, I agree.
Catch the ball.
That was a well
It
executed
was like,
play.
whoa, this Sirianni, what are you doing? We couldn't pass. No, it's fine. It's as good as it's as good as a run.
That it should have been, yes, and it's almost entirely on Saquon Barkley.
I think you're trying to get the first down and end the game.
Yeah, definitely. Right? But I have Saquon Barkley. I'm going to use him as a runner.
Saquon Barkley, good at catching.
Yes.
Except for that specific instance last night.
I need the clock to run more than I need
you do
him to.
At the same time, so I think there was 148 or 152 or something like that left at the time, right? It was the first or second play out of the 2-minute warning. And you're at third down. So let's say you play that out, you run the ball, you don't get the first down, you kick the field goal. You will have made the field goal with about 110-ish on the clock or something like that, or one. Let's just say one.
Sure. For math's sake.
1 minute on the clock. I mean, that doesn't. You're trying to win the game, right? You're trying to end the game.
Right.
So is the difference between giving them 1 minute and 140 like a huge deal? I don't know. They were down inside the 20 after the second play of the ensuing drive. Right? They chunked them right away. So, I mean, I don't know. I'll pull up the exact numbers here. I'm actually okay with how they did it.
65 seconds.
65 seconds. So that would have been about the exact amount of time that they would have had.
Yeah.
So let me pull up the exact chart here. So, end of the game, the Falcons touchdown drive was 65 seconds on 6 plays. They were at the Philly 12. So they got the ball with 139 on the clock. They were at the Philly 12 with 48 seconds left. They had a clean first down and 10 at their 12-yard line with 48 seconds left.
Yeah, they
would, I mean, if you just apply the same plays to exactly what happened, it wouldn't have mattered how much time they had.
Right.
I'm fine with going for it. I'm fine with throwing it, I guess I should say, in that scenario.
Here's where I think it gets a little gray. If I'm Nick Sirianni and everyone hates me, I'm doing the thing that won't get me yelled at.
Yeah.
And just running the football.
If you're the Eagles coach, you can't be worried about people being mad at you. People are just they're perma mad.
You coach in Philly.
They literally booed them off the field last night.
But the second they are ineligible for the playoffs, Sirianni's getting fired.
That's just what happens. It's just it's part of the deal when you take the head coach of the Eagles.
Because Jalen Hurts hates that man.
There's my update. I am okay with how that all played out last night. Catch the football.
Yes.
Catch the football. Now, with that being said, as Josh just mentioned, Sirianni, I don't feel like he's that great. Kind of a dummy. That's okay.
We forget the circumstances under which he was hired, where he was on vacation, showed up in beachwear, and did an interview. Now imagine other coaches showing up in beachwear for their interview.
How's that go?
Not great.
Probably not.
Not great. Maybe that's what happened to Eric Bieniemy.
Michael writes in on all those times. Michael writes in on the text line.
Hi, Michael.
Connor, you were so wrong. You pass instead of running with a sure thing and Saquon B. You run the ball. That's like saying the Seahawks should have passed in the Super Bowl and not run with a sure thing like Marshawn Lynch. Bad take, Connor. Okay, now this is not the Super Bowl. It's week 2.
Right. Slightly different.
Yes. Also, should we pull up that Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl and see what the situation was and see if it was comparable?
Comparable? No. I mean, that was on like the 2 or the 1, right?
Correct. I mean, once again, I just wanted to see. So
didn't think we'd be here today, but I like it. I like it.
The situation in that game was that the Seahawks were down by 4 on the 1.
Down 4 on the 1.
Down 4 on the 1.
How much time left?
26 seconds.
I don't suppose it tells you how many timeouts you had.
Seattle had taken their second timeout 2 plays before.
Oh, okay.
They had a timeout left. Timeouts didn't matter. It was 26 seconds. You were down by 4. Not comparable. Not comparable, Michael. That's my point. It's not the same thing. All right. So there's your quick take on the NFL game from last night. We'll have NFL reaction, overreaction on the show today. We'll talk NFL with Allan Bell. Come up at 11:30. Jacob Bigelow will join the show. We'll have your opportunity to win Omaha Storm Chasers playoff tickets. Playoffs is right. 1 week from tonight, the Chasers will be hosting likely the Columbus Clippers at Warner Park for a best-of-3 series. Winner of the best-of-3 series goes to Vegas to play a single-game AAA national championship. We want you to be in the house. We want that house to be full, for the record, and so we would like you to be there. We're helping you out. You'll be able to call a little bit later on the show. Just a quick little easy trivia, and we'll get you in the building for game 1 a week from tonight. Elsewhere, is Nebraska the hunted? An interesting plan that Matt Rhule revealed yesterday regarding Riley Van Poppel. I want to talk about Matt Rhule's NFL style and if we're cool with it or not. We're going to talk about talent fees, Josh. Not for us. Not for us.
Ours are steep.
Not for us, but for the talent of college football teams to be paid by you, the fans, mandatorily, if that's a word. I am starting to get angry about Indiana. Starting to get angry about Indiana.
Oh.
I do not like their coach. He bothers me.
This is much quicker than normal.
Yep. So we're going to talk about them a little bit today. Some did you knows, and looking at Nebraska's recent history as a ranked team against other ranked teams. I've stirred some people up this morning.
You stirring the pot?
Well, do you remember Nebraska's most recent ranked versus ranked game?
Not specifically, no.
You will. Nebraska was ranked number 9 in the country. Ohio State was ranked number 6 in the country. Nebraska lost 62-3. That was their most recent ranked on ranked game. Nebraska hasn't won a ranked on ranked game since 2011.
That's a long time
ago.
It
is. We'll dive into the history of that coming up on the show. That's the lineup powered by the referees, John Egan's Weather Guard, and of course, big airport overreaction. Want to hear from you guys, 402-951-1620 on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Call or text that number. Tweet at Happer Show at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor or Josh O at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. And we say good morning to the YouTube streamers today. Hi, everybody. How we doing? Dan has informed us.
Hi, Dan.
That The Town came out 14 years ago today. So we'll be celebrating that.
You want to act like you give a crap about Sean.
Doug McCrae, where do we think he is right now? Still hanging out in the swamp?
I mean,
he definitely got back into the game.
Absolutely.
He couldn't control it.
Just another score. One big score.
He definitely got back into the game.
Having difficulties in love, I imagine.
Yeah. A good friend, a guy that you want to have in your corner, but not necessarily a trustworthy guy.
Definitely.
All right. We are off and running on a Tuesday. We'll be back after this on 1620 The Zone. Force Fiend counting takes. Says Connor may have the best show of his life today. 5 for 5 on takes so far.
That's a good first hour.
Can't even think of 5 takes I've done. I guess everything I say is kind of a take, right?
Essentially.
Unless it's just pure information like the Omaha Airport Authority gave us in the crossover.
Oh, and what information they gave us.
Fantastic information. So I've been wondering about this week, and I finally did the research.
Your own research?
I did my own research.
Okay.
Yes. Josh, it's time to pull up a graphic.
Oh.
It's not really a graphic. Now we're going to move our faces to the side. We can go like this again.
Oh, I got to go the other way.
What are we looking at, Josh? Why don't we just do this? Oh no. Nope, it doesn't. Nothing works. All right. We're just going to stay on the sides of this.
That's fine.
All right. What are we looking at, Josh? This is each of Nebraska's games since 2010, since the start of the 2010 season, that have featured both Nebraska as a ranked team and their opponent as a ranked team.
Okay.
The latest addition to this list will come on Friday. Both teams are ranked, Nebraska and Illinois. So if you're watching along with this on YouTube, take a good look there. The ones highlighted in green are wins.
Not a lot of green on this chart
The
of
ones
yours.
highlighted not at all are losses. I've also attached spreads to these games because somebody wondered about this earlier as well.
I see Nebraska only favored in 6 of these contests.
6 seems like a lot, to be honest with you. They're 4-1 as a favorite.
17.
Or no, they're 4-2 as a favorite, I guess.
17 games total on this list if you're not watching along with us on zonetv.live.
So this most recently happened, ranked on ranked, on November 5th of 2016. Nebraska had come off of their loss to Wisconsin in overtime. They made a trip to the Horseshoe to play Ohio State. And the thought on Nebraska was, okay, maybe this team is real. Maybe this team is real.
Took Wisconsin to overtime, covered.
Right, they covered. They were 9-point underdogs in the Wisconsin game. They
Did not get a first down in overtime.
They could have won. No, they didn't. But they went to Ohio State and they thought, well, maybe they could push the Buckeyes tonight. Maybe this is a close game. The most recent memory that I had of a game at Ohio State before that would have been another game that's on this list, which we'll talk about in a second. It ended 63-38. The final score of this game, of course, was 62-3, as history would tell us. And I had somebody in my mentions this morning saying if Tommy Armstrong would have been there the entire game, this would have turned out differently for Nebraska. Well, it may have turned out differently, but Nebraska was always going to get bludgeoned into the core of the earth that night by Ohio State. They were not ready for that one. Wasn't going to happen.
Straight into the wood chipper, man. 62-3.
62-3. That's about as bad as it's ever been. And this is Nebraska's best team from a record perspective in the last 10 years. People forget that. So that was the most recent time it's happened. So we get a bad taste in our mouths. Let's keep going. Backwards now. The Wisconsin game right before that, ranked on ranked. Nebraska lost in overtime, 23-17. They went all of 2015 without playing a ranked on ranked game. The 2014 Holiday Bowl was a ranked on ranked game.
Oh,
Nebraska
sure.
nearly won that. They did cover against USC. Tim Beck decided he got the reins and he decided, guess what? Bo's gone and I'm throwing this thing. I'm throwing this sucker all around the yard. And it resulted in many Tommy Armstrong interceptions, but 42 points at the end of the day. Then another notable entry on this list. Just about 6 weeks before that, Nebraska played in a little something that we now know as the Melvin Gordon game.
Oh, no.
November 15th, 2014. Nebraska was a 5-point underdog in that game. They lost 59-24. They were up 17-3. And people were like, there's been these moments against Wisconsin where you're like, wow, it's happening. It's happening. It's really happening. They're going to do it. And then, those are the things that get said before really, really bad things happen to you. Nebraska lost 59-24. October 4th, 2014. Another ranked unranked game from that year. Nebraska
ranked teams.
Michigan State. They lost. They had a shot to win it down the sideline at the end of the game. Came up short. Lost 27-22. The last time Nebraska was favored in a ranked unranked game. That would be the morning of September 14th, 2013, when Nebraska welcomed UCLA to town for a non-conference game. Nebraska wore their black stencil uniforms, and they were a 1-point favorite, and they lost by 20.
That's bad.
Don't think they scored the second half.
That's not good.
No.
They did not score the second half. UCLA won the third quarter 28-0.
The 2013, the afternoon of January 1st, 2013, Nebraska was ready to play Georgia in the Gator Bowl. They were 9.5-point underdogs. They lost by 2 touchdowns. 2012, the Ohio State, ranked unranked, 63-38 was the final of that one. Then we go back to that bowl game against South Carolina where Alfonso Dennard and Alshon Jeffrey got in a fight. Nebraska lost that game 30-13. 2011 against Michigan, they lost 45-17. That is Nebraska's last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games as a ranked team against a ranked team. They've lost them all. Lost them all. And been favored in just one. I put the spread numbers in there only to reinforce the point. Nebraska is a 8, 9, 10, depending on where you look, point favorite this week against Illinois in a ranked game.
That's about the biggest on this list. Missouri in 2010 was 8.
Missouri in 2010 was the most recent game in which Nebraska has been that heavy of a favorite against a ranked football team.
9.5 on the FanDuel Sportsbook right now.
And then their last win as a ranked team against a ranked team. A very weird day. Very, very weird day. In 2011, Nebraska won at Penn State. 17-14. Why was it so weird?
Well, there was some unpleasantness.
There was some unpleasant. There was an air of unpleasantness around. Nebraska won against Michigan State in 2011. Kirk Cousins, I believe that was 24-3. They took care of him that day. The defense was very, very good. They lost 3 straight before that. Wisconsin in 2011, Russell Wilson. That's the first game in the Big Ten. The 2010 Big 12 championship game against Oklahoma. And then, of course, the Ben Cotton horse kick game at Texas A&M in 2010. Before that, they beat Missouri as an 8-point favorite, and they beat Oklahoma State as a 6-point favorite. That was the Oklahoma State game was, of course, the game after the Texas game read out around the world, and we're like, is Nebraska canceled? Are they bad now? Is Taylor Martinez okay? And then he threw for like 600 yards the next week. It was very odd. What a season that was. So 4 ranked unranked games in 2010, and they went 2-2, lost the Big 12 championship game. But, that team was pretty good. So there's your recent history. Ranked unranked. Hasn't been good, Josh. Hasn't been good. But are we moving into a different era now?
Yeah, this is the part where you tell us that everything's going to be okay, and we're gonna add another green one to the list.
Well, first of all, I'll say, and we can probably take this down now. I'll say this: this Illinois team is not as good as any of the teams that you saw on those lists.
Yeah,
this Illinois team. I hope Brett Bielema isn't listening to the show right now because he'll use this as bulletin board material. They don't deserve to be ranked.
Whoa,
that is not a ranked team.
I watched them play Central Michigan last night. I watched that game.
What'd you think?
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. So maybe Nebraska doesn't either yet. I don't know. Maybe Nebraska doesn't either yet. I do think Nebraska's better. I think there's a reason why they're an 8-point favorite in this game, and I do think they'll win.
9.5 on the FanDuel Sportsbook.
Positive Mike says Nebraska will thump Illinois Friday night.
Positive Mike.
I got to say, that is also the way I'm leaning.
I'm I as well am thinking that this will not be a tense evening.
Star Wars Fiend represents, I think, a large swath of the fan base. And he says, we're not ready for the big moment. Nebraska has pretty routinely not been ready for the big moment.
You couple that list that you gave us with the list John's been touting all week of Matt Rhule's history
against ranked teams,
like 2-19 or something like that. It's not good.
Mm-mm.
It does give me a little bit of caution, but we've got Dylon.
I think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I guess I haven't seen the line for. I mean, in a lot of these cases, Nebraska has been outmatched in terms of like from a talent perspective. Like all those Ohio State games, and just there were times where Nebraska probably didn't deserve to be ranked and whatever. I'd be curious to see that Ohio State line right now. What was it before the season, Josh? Wasn't it like 20, at least 24? Maybe it was even 28.
That sounds about right. I believe we looked it up once, and yeah, that sounds right.
I'll just say this, and I said something to this effect last year. We are past the days of that stuff happening. No more 62-3s. What was my prediction last year that Nebraska would never give up 50 points again or something like that? Or
before the Nebraska-Michigan game, you said Nebraska will never be a 31.5 point underdog ever again.
There you go. And that was for after the Michigan game, right?
Right.
And I guess I don't control the betting market, but like if Nebraska's a 4-touchdown favorite against Ohio State this year, it's an atrocity. It's free money.
Underdog.
Nebraska, yes. Nebraska is that what I said?
No, you said favorite.
Apologize. That's not going to happen. That would also be an atrocity. If Nebraska's a 4-touchdown underdog against Ohio State this year, it's just wrong. Like they're not going to be. Like Nebraska's defense is going to keep them in games. It doesn't matter who they're playing. Now, if you're out talented, then you only have so much time right before the dam breaks.
Mm-hmm.
But like Nebraska is not going to lose that game 62-3 this year. I don't know what people are thinking about that right now. Like you chalk it up as a loss, and that's okay. Like you can still chalk it up as a loss.
Definitely.
But Nebraska will battle in that game. They'll
give them a game, whether it's a half or 4 quarters remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But
maybe they lose by 2 scores. Maybe they lose by 1 score. Maybe they lose by 17 or something like that. But they're going to be in there for a little while.
Yeah.
Right? Like the days of Nebraska just imploding, crumbling, on itself. I think those are gone. And so that is basically what this list is made up of, those games, with the exception of that Wisconsin game in 2016, although overtime was a pretty good example of that. But like the 62-3 game, the Melvin Gordon game, the UCLA game, the other Ohio State game that was on there from 2012, the Michigan game in 2011, those are the other Wisconsin game, the first Wisconsin game in 2011 with Russell Wilson, the Texas A&M game in 2010. Those games are all implosions. And not that Nebraska could have won each of them. They were never going to beat Ohio State in 2016, but they weren't 59 points worse than them. Right? That's an implosion. That's you affecting yourself too much. And I just, not that Nebraska won't make mistakes going forward. They certainly will. But I just think, so you should take solace. You should take comfort in the idea that that Nebraska is generally not going to just beat itself up enough to run themselves out of a game. I really believe that. I think that's changed. Over the last couple of years.
It seems like we've turned the corner on things like that for the time being.
That's where I'm at. Let's get to a couple emails here from the Equitable Bank inbox. Zach says this.
Hi, Zach.
Nebraska will cover versus Illinois for the 4th time in 4 games this season. Nebraska 28, Illinois 17. Eric writes in.
Hi, Eric.
I've never been a fan of saying play to the competition's level, but that is a bad thing for NU this season, having a freshman quarterback and having to play in the Big Ten. I've never been a fan of saying play to the competition's level, But is that a bad thing for NU this year, having a freshman quarterback and having to play in the Big Ten?
Just kind of getting through.
What is he talking about?
Playing down to the comp. Just let's win by 7. Let's just.
Oh, I want to talk about that later.
Sort of like
hold that thought for later.
Yeah.
Hold that thought for later. That'll come up in our NFL style conversation that we have a little bit later on in the show. Some more comments. Brandon writes in.
Hi, Brandon.
The Melvin Gordon game will give me nightmares for the rest of my life.
That's the one. I hear that name and I just right down my spine.
It's a tough one. So there's Nebraska's recent history. It's not good, but we mentioned the past so we can look forward to the future. Josh,
what's the theme of this season? What have I been saying?
Exercising demons.
Exercising demons. You're going to hear a lot of first time since blah 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 all season.
Nebraska has not won a game against a ranked team as a ranked team in almost 13 years.
Oh my.
All right. Put it on the line on Friday. And they're 8-point favorites. No implosions. All right. Well, there's your history lesson. I could tweet that out later. Or now, whatever you want to do as we go along, but you saw it on the YouTube. It's there. All right, we'll come back. Still plenty to come. We can get to some Matt Rhule stuff from yesterday. I can get to my Indiana. I'm triggered at Indiana topic. Whatever you'd like to do, really.
Okay.
Coming back on 1620 The Zone. I am triggered by Indiana. I've had enough of these guys already.
Okay.
This is a basketball school with a crappy basketball program who all of a sudden has a coach who is
He's writing some checks.
Exactly.
With his mouth.
He's a little much for me. A
real look at me, Louie.
But now there's all these people who are like, "Oh man, isn't it great when isn't it fun and stupid and cool when Indiana wins 10 games?" No, it's not.
What is fun about that?
Nothing is fun about that. And then I go to the ESPN playoff predictor thing this morning.
As you do.
And you want to know what it says? Because I'm looking for Nebraska's percentage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to make the playoff? It tells me that the Indiana Hoosiers have a 23.4% chance to make the college football playoff.
What?
It tells me
that's a pretty good chance
that the Indiana Hoosiers have one quarter of the time in the simulations they make the playoff, simulating from here on out. Nebraska, on the other hand, an 11.9% chance, just about half of that. This is sickening. This is disgusting. I do not like them. And I don't think that we as a country should root for them to be good. I don't know why we want this. What's up with everybody saying, "Oh, this is, it's so fun when they're good and their coach is a crazy person."
They can sling it.
Josh, you seemed interested in this.
All I've said about Indiana is that they can sling it.
Here's their upcoming schedule. Charlotte, Maryland, at Northwestern.
Tiny baby stadium.
Home against Nebraska.
Real football team.
And then Washington at Michigan State. Home against Michigan, at Ohio State, and against Purdue.
Could they beat Michigan right now?
Is it feasible that that team wins 10 games? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And that's why they're saying, "Oh, well, they could go to the playoff." Nebraska needs to win this game desperately. I know we're not looking ahead. You get Illinois and blah blah blah.
1 week at a time, go 1-0.
Yeah, exactly. But Nebraska needs to win this game. Nebraska has to shut them up, big time. They're becoming a problem, and I don't like how everybody says they're so cute. They are sickening basketball fans. And now their football team just pops up once in a blue moon because they got this coach who's like a loudmouth and he likes to, say that they're the best at everything. And they've played jack nobody through the first 3 games and they have no history whatsoever. Oh, they had Michael Penix one time and he flew into the end zone against Penn State in the COVID year. And that started this whole trend of things that happened after that. I don't care about Indiana. Indiana is disgusting to me. There's my take. Josh, thoughts?
I agree that they're getting a little lippy.
Yeah. Very lippy.
Don't like that.
Very lippy.
But they're absolutely going to be 6-0 when they play Nebraska.
Somebody needs to get these guys before that.
Could Maryland? You never know.
Maryland's good. Maryland's okay. Maryland's probably about as good as they are.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff says he's PJ Fleck on steroids. I hope we kick their ass.
Oh, good comp.
He is. John writes in on Twitter.
Hi, John.
Couldn't agree more on Indiana. Signetti gives off PJ Fleck vibes. See me after 12 games this year. Platcat says I'll trust Vegas over ESPN's projections. Vegas says Indiana is a plus 1,500 team to make the college football playoff, and Nebraska is a plus 700, according to the FanDuel Sportsbook. According to other inferior sportsbooks, Nebraska plus 650, Indiana plus 3,000, and they're not ranked yet. And so they got all this stuff that, they're like, hey, we're back because they drubbed Western Illinois 77-3. And they beat the worst team in the conference by multiple touchdowns the other night at the Rose Bowl with the sun setting behind the San Gabriels. These guys are not good. I'll even double and triple down on that, Josh.
Whoa.
Everyone's looking at Indiana and they're like, well, Indiana's the one to watch out for. No. It is still Rutgers, by the way. It's still Rutgers. Remember this. It's still Rutgers.
Yes. Rutgers.
That's the team that we need to watch out for in the first, 7 games of the season. Not that it's going to be easy for Nebraska, whatever. This is not a referendum on Nebraska. But all of a sudden, we've done this now, and we've turned all of these other teams into Ohio State. It's just not true. It's just not true.
I mean, wouldn't it be great for Nebraska to walk into Bloomington and hand the fighting Antoine Randall L's their first L?
No, I hope they lose every game
season.
before that.
Oh, wow.
I hope they lose to Charlotte this weekend.
Don't we want the media to fall in love with them a little
They're
bit?
already in love with them. They can't stop themselves. They're sick. They're disgusting. The media says, oh, Indiana, I love them.
And then Tommy Hill plunges his fist into the chest of the Hoosiers and rips their heart out.
That'd be great, but I want them to lose every game. I don't like their coach, and I don't like how their fan base is awoken from their sleep.
Hey, you guys know we play football here?
And I don't like how the media likes them. What's up with this new media now? The media is supposed to be old and crusty, and they're supposed to like the old programs who have won before and are now back. Sound familiar? But no, they're like, oh, Indiana had Antoine Randall, and probably more specific, they had Michael Penix that one time. They won 9 games with Tom Allen. He's a weirdo. That's what the media is doing now. Bring back old crusty media who enjoys tradition. This sucks.
Have you seen the way he reacts to a penalty called on his own team?
Yes, he just watch them play. And then watch his press conferences afterwards. You will be appalled. You will be appalled by them. All you have to do is watch them one time.
Mm-hmm.
Because now social media, I'm blaming social media, Josh.
Okay.
Social media, everybody's like, oh, well, they won that game 77-3. I saw the box score. They must be pretty good, right? And I think I kind of like this. They're new. They're different. We do not want this. I'm telling you, you do not want this. You don't want this to happen. You do not want that coach to come in to Indiana in his first year and go to the college football playoff. That would be a disaster for everybody. Nobody wants that. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I hope they lose to Charlotte, Maryland, and Northwestern by 4 touchdowns each.
Sorry, I'm just scrolling through. The internet is very much a fan of.
They love Indiana.
Curtin them boys.
They love Indiana.
Yeah. Well, they play a style that is not really conducive to Big Ten football.
I'm telling you, everybody's into this newfangled garbage. How about run the football?
When it's
How about win national championships? Not in basketball. How about have a bad basketball program?
They've
well,
got
I
that.
guess they have that.
Yeah. On lockdown.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. A historically bad basketball program. What happened to the days where you were either good at basketball or good at football and not both?
Yeah. And it didn't ebb and flow between,
No.
oh, we're good at football now. Oh, 5 years later, we're good at basketball and not football. No.
Sicilian Stiletto tweets in.
Hi, Sicilian Stiletto.
Wait, Indiana is back? Doesn't make any sense. In order to be back, didn't you have to have been there once before? #snarky.
I like #snarky.
#snarky. Steve writes in, poll question, bring back old crusty media. Yes. Bring back old crusty media.
Pretty much forced to post that, aren't I?
Yep.
Feel I know which way this is going.
Stank Nooner has a comment for Indiana. I'm putting that up on the screen.
Hi, Stank Nooner. We can't read your comment over the air.
I put it on the screen, though.
But the stream can read it. We do not disagree either.
They're done.
All I've said
I
is
do not like them.
All I said is they can sling it. I'm impressed with the ability. I mean, it's pretty much just.
You have pre-googly eyes. You have pretty googly eyes. You're almost googly eyed.
It's pretty much just James Madison from last year in different costumes.
It's cute when it's James Madison, but you don't want this in your you don't want this in your territory.
Right.
You do not want this. Just getting out in front of this. You don't want this. Just here to tell you the truth. Get out in front of it. Bring back old crusty media.
That poll question is up at Happer Show, along with several others from the crossover.
Text from the 402.
Hi, 402.
Will the Big Ten have to adjust to Indiana? No. They rule nothing here. They rule nothing. They got lucky with an easy first 6 games, and that's the story.
I would say
they will learn their lesson.
I would say the back half of their schedule isn't that hard either.
Yeah, it really isn't.
I mean,
all right, we'll be back after this with AB. We'll talk about the NFL this week and more on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Allan Bell, the AB3 on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, and just quickly, I have concern. I don't know what they're talking about on the BTN right now, but they've had a lower third of Heinrich Harburg up for the last, I don't know, like 80 seconds. And I don't know what they could possibly be talking about on that show, but we'll see if anything comes out of that. Let's talk some NFL with our dear friend Allan Bell, driving the line. Joins us now on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. AB, hello.
Hello, sir. How we doing?
Very good. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well. Cannot complain on this Tuesday.
Okay, so quick take. Right decision, wrong decision to throw the ball on 3rd and short last night for the Eagles.
Wrong decision. No, I mean, look, football tells you, obviously, you run the football, right? But, yeah, I mean, the play was right.
I agree.
Like, it was right. You know what I mean? Like, it was right. And the tough part is that those are sure hands in Saquon Barkley, but it's just that one time out of 100, man. Like, it's just bad luck. I get it. You took a risk, and it cost you. But I'd call it again. Like, I'd call it again. That's me.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree completely. That's how I view it as well. I'm fine with them taking that shot right there and it's not even really a shot. Like, they view it as an extended run. Basically, it's just it has the added danger of you potentially dropping it.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the risk, right? And it's like the conventional wisdom is you run the football, and yeah, you're going to get 45 seconds, off the clock. Even if you don't get it, then you kick the field goal and you go, right? Yeah, like I totally see why people who hate it, but I get it, man. I liked it. It was the right call, or it was a call.
It was a call. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we do? What do we do with Caleb Williams right now?
Yeah.
Is
we get him help?
Yeah.
That's what we do.
I think that's the answer. But unfortunately, Allan, you know this as well as anybody. Like, if you're put, it doesn't matter how good you are. If you're put in a really bad situation, then there might not be any way to dig out of that hole. I don't think we know. Just to use Bryce Young as an example, like, I don't think we really know whether he's good or not. He might be bad, but we don't really know. He was put in a horrible situation. I just hope Caleb Williams doesn't go the same route.
That's you just nailed the biggest problem in the NFL and in sports, but specifically quarterbacks in the NFL. You just don't know, right? Like, I mean, you put a good quarterback with a horrific team. I mean, answer the question. Do you know who holds the NFL rookie interception record?
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, right? What did they go? 1-15?
Yep.
I mean, they were horrible, right? Now, he got older. Team got a lot better, pieces around him. It truly is a team sport. You know what I mean? And the teams that can draft well, here's the key to it, okay? And it's that old phrase of this, like, in terms of, like, working out, you don't have to get in shape if you stay in shape. You know what I mean? Like, the Pittsburgh Steelers are an example of this. Like, they're not going to win the Super Bowl, but they don't let their roster just go completely to hell.
Yep.
Right?
And they're just sitting around waiting for the next good quarterback to pop up.
100%. Now, you look at the Green Bay Packers. I mean, they, you never know when a Favre Rodgers run is going to come. I mean, probably, likely not. You know what I mean? But, like, that's what happens when you just keep your team good. You just keep your roster solid, man. That's when good things are happening. You don't fall in that pit.
Yeah, I mean, it happened to the Chiefs. Like, they were pretty good in the lead up to Patrick Mahomes showing up, and then it took them to a different level.
And you know what? Here's the thing. This is why the Chiefs are so dang smart. All right. Now, they had Alex Smith, who just took them to the playoffs against the Titans, right? And then they trade up to get Patrick Mahomes because they trusted at what their scouts saw.
Yep.
If that doesn't work, everyone's fired. Everyone.
100%.
Yeah, and it's like they trusted what they were doing and said, we're going to get ahead of this, and we're going to be ready. That's why the Chiefs have rings all over their hands now, man. That's how you do it.
Hey, Allan, usually we wouldn't waste our time with talking about, like, the really, really bad teams, But I feel through 2 weeks of the season or however many weeks, but I feel like the Panthers have risen to this level of wow. I mean, this is as bad as I've seen an NFL franchise be. It's approaching that territory. What they have done in the first 2 games is completely embarrassing. There's been some really, really bad teams. It's hard to recall in recent memory us seeing a team this bad.
Yeah. We always made the joke, but now I'm kind of saying it. Bryce Young's Alabama team might beat this team.
Yeah.
Like he played on a better team at Alabama than he's on right now. That's your problem. When you have a hedge fund manager that's an owner that's now making decisions, this is what you get. Buddy, they're bad. Look at if you look at the roster, it was like, the beginning of Major League, and they're like, who are these guys? They're like, this guy's dead. Well, cross him off. That's their roster, dude. The crazy thing is this: Bryce Young is their best player. They're benching their best player to get better. It's crazy, man. It's bad.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it that way. I mean, it's very possible that's true, Allan.
Yeah. Now here's the thing too: Andy Dalton has lived in the mud for 30 years.
Yeah.
He'll be okay for a week, and then it's gonna get horrific. But if I've played around disaster, I know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Dalton's that guy. He'll have a smile. Yeah, he'll be good to go.
AB, true or false? The Saints are good.
True. The Saints have scored on every offensive drive so far this season. Every one of them. They're good.
Good stat.
Yep.
Now, obviously the Panthers are very bad. And I don't know about the Cowboys, but what they've done, nobody wins by that many points, regardless of who you're playing through a couple weeks of the season. It just doesn't really, you don't really see that.
No. And look, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, right? Look, number one, the off season, now that no one's playing preseason games at all, we're going to get this. We need to get used to this, that it's just the first month is going to be who in the world knows what's going on, right? So we all going to have to just kind of relax. The Cowboys will be okay. The problem is that they don't have a run game.
Yep.
So it doesn't help. You can just sit back, in a nickel and say, all right, well, Zeke is not going, 100 miles an hour. We're just going to make Dak throw right into us, right? That's the issue. But, look around the league. The Pittsburgh Steelers have scored 1 touchdown, and they're 2-0 and won both on the road. What is happening? You know what I mean? The Ravens are 0-2.
Yep.
It's crazy.
The Steelers are, at the same time, they're the only team with the TJ Watt, and that it seems to have made a difference.
That
so
tends to help. Yeah. When you go find guys who are really good, that tends to help. Run the football and just don't turn it over.
He kind of has been single-handedly wrecking games. We were watching the NFL Network, and everybody notices it. Maybe you notice it with your fantasy team. And you just mentioned, hey, nobody really does anything in the preseason anymore. The season is, expanded, and we're probably going to add another game to this whole thing. Injuries have been, what have injuries meant to, whether it's gambling, fantasy, over the first couple weeks of the season, which the NFL, we've talked about this before, the NFL is so tied to fantasy football, gambling markets, and stuff like that. They've promoted it. They've said we were embracing this thing. And now they have all of these injuries, which are throwing things off in the first couple of weeks of the season. It's kind of interesting to put those two up against each other.
Oh, yeah. Look, the number 1 overall pick in almost every fantasy league, Christian McCaffrey, has not played yet and doesn't look like he's going to for a while. A.J. Brown, same deal. He's going to be out a couple weeks and keep going down the list. And that's the hard part is that, I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you, these guys playing, not playing. I don't know. You know what I mean? But, it's happening, and it's happening more and more. And I think that it's something that we're probably going to have to get used to, in regards to that. And let me tell you this, from a betting perspective, all right, these first 2 weeks are the most profitable first 2 weeks of the NFL season in the history of sports books. So,
why do you think that is?
Underdogs and unders. All right, because the public bets favorites, the public bets overs. I think on Sunday, I think we had 10 home underdogs win or something like it was madness. You know what I mean? And then you're seeing lower point totals as well. So, yeah, man, like unders and underdogs, man. That's where the books make their money.
Interesting. Well, we're looking forward to what's
The
our
Titans football, Titans baseball. Okay.
Titans football, Titans Packers, Malik Willis revenge game on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, the sad thing is that they're going to beat the Titans.
Yeah, it appears as if they might. We're getting Jets Patriots on Thursday night.
Yeah.
That'll be something.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. No, I'm kidding. Look, it'll be, I'm kind of excited to see it. Like, I just saw the Jets play the Titans, and they got better. You could see it. And not even the opponent-wise. Like, you just see the defense looked sharper. Aaron Rodgers looked sharper. The offense, the passing game. They're going to be a good football team, man, as long as he stays healthy. And then the Patriots, like, I kind of like this team that, like,
they've
Gerard
been
Mayo's
pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. Gerard Mayo's like, look, no one believes in you. They think you all suck. Let's just go cause chaos. Like, I'm with that. I like a chaos theory team, so it'll probably be pretty low scoring, but I don't mind those, man. Football, dude. I'll take it any way we can get.
No doubt about it. Allan Bell of Driving the Line. AB, I know you have it all covered this week. Appreciate your time as always. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, look forward to it, brother. Be good.
Allan Bell, he's got all your trends and things like that covered on Driving the Line every single day. Next week, this coming week, is also the first week of the Monday night doubleheader, which takes away from our thick noon slate over the first 2 weeks.
I believe Sunday, this past Sunday, a couple days ago, was the only 10-game noon window this season.
She was thick.
She was.
It was red zone was popping on Sunday. Yeah, so we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a 7-game noon slate.
7
this week. We have a pretty heavy mid-afternoon, and then we have a Chiefs Falcons Sunday night football and a Monday night doubleheader. Do you know the Monday night doubleheader off the top of your head, Josh?
I know the second game is Commanders Bengals.
PU, yes.
I want to say the Jaguars are involved in the first game.
That is correct.
They've already played the Dolphins. Buccaneers?
Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
That game will be on 16:20. Commanders Bengals will be on 11:80.
Thank you, Josh, for updating us.
I also have an update on BTN.
Oh, what were they talking about? Backup quarterbacks?
They were discussing, is Illinois prepared for Heinrich Haarberg potentially playing 5 to 10 snaps on Friday night?
What a topic.
Yeah.
I didn't know they went that far in the weeds on that show.
Right.
They were giving out Big Ten report cards, and whoever's on my screen right now gave Nebraska for the first quarter of the season an A+.
Hello.
Doesn't that feel good?
Feels great.
A+.
I'm going to hang that on the fridge.
Dang. All right. We'll be back. Don't forget, NFL Reaction, Overreaction coming up in just a little while. Let's get to the odd news first. Coming up on 1620 The Zone.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Coming up in NFL Reaction, Overreaction, we'll discuss, will Caleb Williams go the way of Mike Trout? Being a bust.
Oh,
But that's not
okay.
how you thought this was going to go.
No, I didn't know what we were preparing for.
All right. I have, recently undergone an increased effort to be more like the kids. Right. What are the kids doing, Josh? What are the kids doing? They're on YouTube.
They're playing Fortnite.
They're playing Fork Knife, and they're on YouTube. And
what do they do on YouTube, Connor?
They unbox stuff.
They do.
And then they watch each other unbox stuff.
Wow, what did that guy get in his package?
So
it's the most mundane activity.
It's so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even begin to describe it. But guess what? Adapt or die, Josh.
Okay.
Adapt or die.
We will adapt.
It's the first ever Connor Happer Show unboxing.
Ooh.
What's in this envelope?
What's in that UPS envelope? What can Brown do for you, Connor?
All right, here we go.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's got one of those nice pull tabs. Good pull.
Yeah,
Good pull.
Thank you. Is there an ASMR deal in there? Okay.
It's like a piece of paper.
It's like a parking map.
Oh, a map. Ooh.
Thank you.
Wow. Very nice of them to include that instead of just, Google it.
Is that it?
Just the map?
There must be more. It's more parking.
More parking.
More. I can't really. Here, I'll take the QR code out or whatever. It's more parking. It's more parking.
It's just a parking pass. These aren't digital now?
That's correct, Josh.
Oh, because all the olds will, I like putting my parking pass in a ticket book so that way I can have it collect dust and never look at it ever again.
It's parking. I got parking.
Wow.
I love parking.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Parking. Thank you. This is my first YouTube video. Like and subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button.
Positive Mike says, is that a real thing? I could make millions off of my wife's Amazon packages.
Absolutely, Mike.
Buy
yourself a ring light.
It's happening.
And absolutely.
It's all happening. All right. Now that our unboxing is complete, thank you, the University of Nebraska.
That was a good segment to do this in.
Time for the odd news.
All right.
Josh?
We go to Citi Field in New York City.
Nothing else in there.
Have you seen what the Mets have done?
Grimace.
Grimace, yes. Do you actually know what it is, or was that a guess?
I don't. It was a guess.
It was the correct guess. The kid-friendly McDonald's character made another appearance at the ballpark Monday when the New York Mets unveiled a commemorative purple seat in section 302 to honor his special connection to Mets fans.
Your Highness.
Grimace threw out a funny-looking first pitch on June 12th, and a 7-game win streak started.
Yep.
The Mets are 53-31 since Grimace threw out that first pitch.
That's good, Josh.
Yes, it's better than the Atlanta Braves, who they have pushed out of the third and final wild card spot for the time being.
I have concerns about many playoff spots at this moment for many teams on many sides.
Yes. AL wild cards tightened up.
Josh, that's what I was referencing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Boy, I thought
I am now scared of the Detroit Tigers.
Oh. How'd the Mariners get back in this thing?
I don't know. I think I do know.
Oh.
The Royals had 7 losses in a row at one point.
Okay.
And the Twins haven't been very good either.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much the story.
Okay.
So now I have to be scared of the Tigers for the next 3 weeks. Great news for me.
We go to San Francisco, where Police Lieutenant Jonathan Ozell.
Is this like Cal rubbing off on the ACC?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Although it does use the word flamboyant.
Interesting. I'd check that out, by the way.
Yeah, Google that in your own spare
The
time
algorithm.
today. Jonathan Ozell wore a flamboyant inflatable chicken costume as he attempted to cross a street in San Francisco. The purpose of the exercise, this was for work. He did this for
the chicken guys.
Yes. The purpose of the exercise was to issue tickets to drivers who flouted state law by not yielding to a pedestrian as he attempted to cross. Quite a few drivers failed that test.
Run me over?
Yeah. What a huge gamble you're taking. Hey, I'm going to try and cross the street in this inflatable chicken costume and see if people let me cross or just plow right through me. Ozil made sure to give drivers ample time to see him, usually entering the crosswalk while the motorist was still 200 feet away. Doesn't seem like enough time.
No.
In my head.
Pretty close.
I have not seen a video of this exercise, but I have seen pictures. In February, a 76-year-old man was sadly struck and killed in the same crosswalk that Ozil was using.
Jeez.
So they're trying to, create awareness and put a plan in place. They did this for an hour. Police pulled over so many drivers that the writer of the article lost count. The author guessed that 5 exercises involving different costumes were used before they landed on the inflatable chicken.
Yeah.
A unicorn, Big Bird. Big Bird resulted in 30 to 40 citations alone in the 1 hour that they attempted to have Big Bird cross the street.
It's a lot of trust in society, Josh.
It really is.
If you drive down the street, if you're, you got a 15-minute commute to work or whatever you got in the morning, just look to your left, look to your right, and you'll probably count, I don't know, 30% of the people that you go by are texting or they're on their phones in some way, shape, or form. And so if you're a chicken man, an inflatable chicken man crossing an intersection, you just have to hope and pray that the person barreling through that intersection is not texting.
Especially out in
Otherwise,
California way.
The person inside of that chicken costume is dead.
That's right.
And we don't want that.
No, we don't.
So credit to this police officer for sacrificing his life for the awareness.
Appreciate. Thank you for your service. We go to television for our final story. Spoiler alerts.
Flat screen TVs?
Yes, I watched this on a flat screen TV. Spoiler alerts for last night's Celebrity Family Feud. If you don't want it spoiled for you, we will be discussing it.
I'm good.
Okay, I kind of figured. We talked about this in What to Watch last night. David Chang, celebrity chef, invited numerous ESPN and former ESPN personalities on his Celebrity Family Feud team last night. They won the game, the fighting David Changs
Congrats.
of the world. So they needed 2 participants for fast money, right? You know how the game's played, right? Right, Connor? You know how fast money's played?
Sure.
Okay.
This is Family Feud.
Yeah.
They have to just name stuff.
Yeah. Steve asked the question. They got to name them. They got 20 seconds.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. Chang did not do well in his final round, mustering a mere 54 points. You got to get 200 points to win the grand prize, Connor.
Okay.
So Pablo Torre was left to get the other 146 points, if my math is correct on that. That's when Pablo Torre went on a run, collecting number one answer after number one answer and winning $25,000 for his team's charity.
And this is odd how?
It's a sports-related story that happened on television last night.
Doesn't seem that odd to me, Josh.
Well, a little bit of
Tony White just got up in front of everybody and he said, our defense didn't live up to our standard this week. They won the game 34-3, Josh.
Very impressive.
They won the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like you to take that sort of, ownership of what you've just done to besmirch the good name of the odd news.
I mean, would you like me to play like the video clip? Would that help?
How long is it?
It says it's 2 minutes. That feels long.
Still too long.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
Okay.
Congratulations to Pablo Torre.
And I thought his charity would be in here. It's not.
I always find it kind of, I like charity and everything, but I always find it kind of disappointing when they're playing for charity.
Really?
I feel like the celebrities should be playing to have money taken away from their bank accounts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I thought you were gonna ask that the game shows give money to the celebrities.
No, we don't need the
Okay.
celebrities to have any more money.
That's
They
where I
already
thought we were
don't
going.
deserve all the money they have. Take away money.
Mhm.
It's like, or you lose one of your houses or something like that. Now, Pablo Torre probably doesn't have many houses.
I
He's
would
just
think
on
not.
ESPN
Right.
and a couple pods. But he's probably doing pretty well.
Big pod man.
Yeah. I guess in that case, no celebrity would ever go on these shows and it would
Right. Too
probably
big of
not
a
really
risk.
work. But
Pablo Torre's net worth is between 1 and 5 million. That's too wide a swath.
what do you think your net worth is?
$12.
That's not true. You own a house.
I do own a house.
You have this job. You have your platform. You have your dignity, your pride.
Those
Well,
aren't
maybe that
worth
all
as
went
much as you'd think.
Maybe that all went away after you puked in that trash can that one day. I'm not sure.
That's a better place for me though. Then the expectations aren't too high.
I'd say your net worth is probably like $1 million.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe 500 grand.
That seems closer.
Bayamon writes in.
Hi, Bama.
Connor is taking out his anger, his Indiana anger on Josh.
Mhm.
I'm just the executive producer. I just executive produce.
Well, that's creates an interesting bind because when I email guests, I tell them I'm the executive producer.
You're
for
not
the show.
though. You're not. You're not the executive producer, Josh. You are
It sounds
the
better.
producer, and I would even say that you are a co-executive producer
Okay.
potentially. But we all
And
know
the
who
director of audio.
we all know who the. But yeah, there's the other rub. You're also the boss, but only half of the boss. It's very confusing.
Incredibly. You should try living it.
I would. Don't you think it would be accurate to say that I am the executive producer? That I am.
Probably.
That I am in control of the content, what gets said and what gets done
Yeah.
on the show.
I don't dictate content. You go where you want to go.
Doesn't that make me executive producer?
Probably.
Thank
yes.
you. So when I email people to come on the show or text people to come on the show, I don't introduce myself as the executive producer.
I don't introduce myself that way. I put it in the signature of the email.
Nice. Maybe I should add a title to mine.
Oh yeah, snazz that thing up.
Okay.
Question for you.
Baywan says, you are my executive producer.
Thank
Gosh.
you. Thank you. Why has Terrence Knighton tweeted the 50 Cent laughing and driving away gif with no other words attached to it?
Oh, where's this?
At coach_Knighton on Twitter.
Do
or
I not
X,
follow
if you
him
prefer.
on Twitter?
You should. He's a good follow. Doesn't tweet that often, and when he does, it's usually not.
CEO of Death Row.
Yeah. Bleep talking's not the right word, but he's very confident in his group, as he should be. It's a good group.
He did the 50 Cent laughing and driving away GIF. Here's the comments. Who did we get, coach? Spill the beans, coach. Translation, question mark? What could this mean? Side-eye emoji. That one was from Skers 3-0.
My favorite reply is the gif of Suge Knight saying, "Come to death row."
I don't know what he's talking about. He's always talking about something.
He
though.
is. I like that guy.
Text from the 402.
Hi, 402.
I like that guy too. Connor seems very full of himself today.
Ooh.
That's most days. It's most days. Star Wars Fiend says, I'm very confused. I've always felt Josh runs the show. He, the producer, manager, host, guest.
I'm not really host or guest.
Who do you feel like runs the show? Who runs this show?
Poll question?
Yeah, do that. Do the poll question. Who runs the show? Connor or Josh? I'd like to know what people think about this.
Yeah.
We get a straw poll. And maybe your answer is the actual answer. Who knows? Because I don't know the answer.
I don't either.
All right, we're back after this. Brunson's going to join us at the...
No.
No.
Tomorrow.
Jacob Bigelow's at 1.
No, Thursday.
No, Thursday. We're going to have the 4-pack of Chasers playoff tickets at in this hour as well. But coming up next, Has Nebraska miraculously gone from afterthought of college football to the hunted in 3 weeks?
That's a quick turnaround.
Next on 1620 The Zone.
let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Or the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Poll question up for you at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Who runs the show? Connor Happer, producer Josh.
Get out and vote. It's important.
We have one reply guy in. It's Husker Sports Guy.
Hi, Husker Sports Guy.
Voting Josh solely to take Happer down a peg.
Hey, that's okay.
People are saying that I'm full of myself.
You know, sometimes you don't like either candidate, so you're voting against
a certain one.
When you vote
the never
for the
happers.
opposite.
That's what they're calling them.
I'm looking to take radio forward, not backward. Forward.
You already have had the chance, Josh. What have you been doing for the last 4 years?
I've been down at that Beatrice border.
Most watched games week 3 of the college football season. Nebraska and Northern Iowa did not make the list. Sadly.
What?
But Georgia leads the way. Their 13-12 thriller against Kentucky was watched, unfortunately, by 6.6 million sad sacks.
Just turn the channel. There were many other games on. I understand number 1, Georgia was in a tussle.
They were in a game. People watched it. Alabama and Wisconsin, big noon, had to listen to Gus Johnson say, "I love analytics." That was the best part of the game by far, because he was being so sarcastic. So I think it was Wisconsin. They were going for some 4th down or whatever. And he goes, "The analytics guys," like he just blurted it out loud. And then they get the 1st down and he goes, "I love analytics." Like, this is peak television.
Audi analytics.
That clip has to be out there somewhere. Gus Johnson analytics. How do you spell analytics? It's a tough word.
Well, sound it out.
Well, I know the first 4 letters. It's not on here. I love no videos anyway. I love analytics. That's what he said. Anyway, that was the second most watched game. 5 million people. LSU, South Carolina, an actual good football game.
Wild.
4.9 million viewers. Texas A&M, Florida, 4.8 million viewers. And then a big gap. And then there's Colorado and Colorado State, which took place on CBS. And it's a nice little primetime window at night. 3.2 million viewers. People are asking, going back to the question that I had a week ago, or I guess before the Colorado game. Does Nebraska have a chance to kill Prime Mania?
Oh.
Did Nebraska kill Prime Mania?
Prime Mania killed Prime Mania.
That's true, but Nebraska was the person, they were the team doing the killing.
Sure.
I guess. They just happened to be there on that night. It's possible. It's possible. Not many people watched that game. Now, more people than normal who normally would have been watching Colorado State, they had more than that. That would have been about 7 people. So they got more. Oregon State got 2.8 million. Arizona K-State got 2.6 on Friday night. And 2.3 million people probably watched the first 15 minutes of Notre Dame and Purdue, and then they turned it to another channel. That was a bad one. There's your TV ratings of the week and a chance for me to be correct.
Hang the banner.
I love analytics.
You do a really good Gus Johnson.
I like Gus. Like I don't like Gus, but I really like him. I don't know how to describe it to you. I don't know how to explain it to you. I don't really want him to do my game, but I'm glad I don't really think much of him as a broadcaster, but I really am glad that he's in there.
Okay.
For a game that I don't care about, I get to dunk on Wisconsin. He kind of says something funny, and he's not calling any of the players by any of their real names. Sign me up for like 20 minutes of Gus Johnson a week. I'm in. All right, to the press conference from yesterday. By the way, Star Wars Fiend says, what did Connor put in his coffee today? He's fired up and on one, and I like it.
Fired up for football?
Star Wars Fiend said earlier I was 5 for 5 on takes. I bet I'm probably 15 for 15 now.
Banner day. We wouldn't dare mention a perfect game.
No, we wouldn't. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for definitely not mentioning that. Matt Rhule yesterday. This seemed like a message that Matt Rhule just wanted to get out there. He was asked by Mitch Sherman, hey, how do you're in a short week, and how do you practice situational stuff and get all that stuff ready? You might be in a close game this week for the first time. Matt Rhule took that and moved it in a completely different direction. And here is what came out of his mouth.
That we're now realizing, okay, is, and this Friday night, obviously it's a ranked team, so it'll be maybe different, but we're no longer like the hunter. Like, we're no longer like the unranked team that people are like, who do we have this? Oh, we're playing Nebraska. Oh, okay, we beat them the last 4 years. Now you're the team that people are preparing for. The UNI players who I had a lot of respect for. I mean, I thought that quarterback was a dude. I liked him too. Was a dude. After the game, they talked about, hey, we talked about this game all summer long. And our guys have to understand that, like, when then you start putting numbers in front of your name, right? People start saying, oh, we want to go beat a ranked team, So it's not quite your question, but I just do think our guys understand you're going to see different things. So all of a sudden we come out against these last week and they're bringing 0 in the red zone. It's like, okay, well, they got us on one. Now we need to kick a field goal. That could cost us a game at some point, right? So we have to be better in those areas. And so we're having to do a lot more situational stuff, to your point, Mitch, because we haven't been in, haven't had to go down there at the end.
Thanks, Matt. That didn't answer the question at all, but I'm glad you said it.
I'm trying to write a story about this, and you went on a diatribe about that. Mitch has got a job to do.
Look, he gets up there and says the messages that his team needs to hear because he knows he's smart. He knows about TikTok. He knows that TikTok exists, and he knows that his team will not listen to him when they directly talk to him, when he directly talks to them, but they will listen if Stephen A. Smith says it, or Paul Feinbaum says it, or some rando TikTok NCAA football video game player says it. They know that they will listen.
What's up, brother?
Exactly. That guy. And so this gets into the take-mosphere, and it gets tossed around a little bit. You like that one?
I do, actually.
I actually kind of do, too. Is Nebraska the hunted?
Hello.
Is Nebraska that was his point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is Nebraska the hunted?
People are going to start treating you different when they play you. You got to think about that.
I don't think Nebraska is the hunted yet. I think Nebraska is still kind of cute for now.
Cute's a fun place to be, though.
It is. It's nice. I'd prefer it over ugly and sad.
I've been ugly and sad.
Yeah, they've been that. They weren't even the girl who takes her glasses off. It's like, whoa, she's pretty. She's hot. Just ugly. Just ugly for the last 10 years. Nothing you could do about it. You just were.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, oh, there's something there.
We started working out.
It's kind of cute.
Put down the margs.
But are they the hunted yet? Meaning, are they the cheerleader? This is a weird analogy. I don't really like this.
I don't love where you're headed.
I don't either. But you get the point.
Mm-hmm.
I actually disagree with Matt Rhule. I don't think that Nebraska is the hunted yet. I don't think they've done anything to deserve that. I don't think they've done anything to earn that. I think this is a message to his team to say, hey, you better be ready because they're going to punch you. Like they're going to come. They're going to come get you. I think pretty much everything he says in his press conference is a message to get his team's attention nowadays, which is something else to kind of watch and focus on and think about. When he makes all of the bad teams out to be good teams, but then he says after the Colorado game, I thought we were going to win by 30 or 40. That should tell you what he was trying to do in the week leading up to it.
That's the most talented team we're going to play this year.
Yeah.
But this week he said, those were preseason games.
Yep. Those games don't matter anymore. So just think about that when he talks. Mm-hmm. In order for Nebraska to become the hunted, Nebraska would Well, I guess they could do one thing probably this year to become the hunted.
Oh, don't let me dream, Connor. Don't let me dream. I think I know where you're going.
What do you think I'm going to say?
College football playoff.
That's not what I was going to say, although that would probably do the trick.
Okay.
I think it's beat Ohio State. I think it's beat somebody that you're not supposed to beat.
Punch out of your weight class.
Mm-hmm.
Is USC in our weight class?
I don't know yet.
Okay. That's fine.
I haven't decided yet. I decide the weight classes. I don't know that I'm not sure. That might do it.
You run the weight classes. I run the show.
That might do it. But by the way, thank you, Mustache Adam. Good use of a meme, because I think this poll question is not going in my direction as we speak. The who runs the show poll question.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There.
People like me.
They do. They love you, Josh.
I don't really know why, but thank you all.
Yeah. I might be the heel of the show.
Whoa.
I don't know. But yet it's me who has the microphone and has some things to say each and every day. I don't think Nebraska's the hunted. I don't think they've earned the opportunity, the ability to say that they're the hunted yet. I think this is just something that Matt Rhule is saying to get his team's attention. I think Nebraska could become that. Like, I think Nebraska could become a team that it's fun to beat again. But keep in mind, this has been a long, long time now. Long time of being ugly, Josh. Long time of being ugly. And I think part of the thing that's worked against Nebraska over the better part of the last decade now is that once Nebraska became irrelevant, once Nebraska wasn't winning 8, 9, 10 games a year, competing for conference championships like they were in their first few years in the conference, they became even more irrelevant than they would have been had they been back in their home Big 12 conference, because nobody in the league had an emotional attachment to them. Nobody cared to beat Nebraska anymore. It was just like, oh, okay. It's another bad team that we have to beat to win the Big 10 West or whatever we're going for. I guess with the exception of Iowa or the possible exception of Minnesota. But Wisconsin, like they beat Nebraska nonstop except for one game where they were wearing horrible jerseys in 2012. There wasn't that. So maybe over time, and if Nebraska starts punching above their weight class a little bit, all of a sudden they do become that. And people start to feel emotion toward them again. Maybe. I don't know. But they're not right now. I think that much is for sure. Phone's ringing, by the way. We can take a call on this. We'll have NFL reaction, overreaction coming up in just a few minutes. Matt writes in on the Equitable Bank inbox. Subject line: the UNI QB is a dude. Know you guys have talked about Dubuque, Iowa before. As a Dubuquer, we are all dudes, and the QB from UNI is a Dubuquer.
A town full of dudes.
He's from Dubuque. I love Dubuque. Maybe he's met the Dubuque Giant. Maybe he's been hopefully he hasn't been to the Diamond Joe too much. He's just a child.
I see the phone's ringing. Hurtin' Husker fan.
What?
On YouTube.
What?
This will be the ultimate test of ego. Before we vote on the poll, I need an answer to the following. If the poll says Josh runs the show, is he going on vacation?
Josh, will you answer that?
I don't know. It's football season. I don't go on vacation. What is a vacation?
Vacation is a construct. You can go on vacation if you'd like.
I've tried to go on vacation and been specifically told vacation is not a construct.
It's not a construct?
You have to be here.
Interesting. I said go on vacation if you want to go on vacation.
I thought I ran this place. Apparently I don't.
A lot of conflicting ideas. All right, let's take a break. We can take your call on the other side if you're hanging out with us here. We'll also have NFL reaction, overreaction coming up on 1620 The Zone. TC writes in on YouTube.
Hi, TC.
Josh, does your job allow you to telework?
It allows a lot of other people to telework, but not me.
I could telework.
Indeed it does.
Yes, indeed it does. I've never. I shouldn't say I've never teleworked. I've teleworked very rarely. One snowstorm.
I believe it is one time, one show.
One snowstorm.
Yeah.
So.
And I appreciate that about you.
Thank you. I like being here.
I don't want this creating a rift between us. Are we good?
Josh, it's good.
Okay.
I don't take anything personal.
You really don't.
If I gotta be the heel, I gotta be the heel. People got to tell me that I'm a big fat idiot. It's just the way it goes.
I would never.
You win some, you lose some. To the phones. Here's John on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Hi, John.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good afternoon.
Hello.
You guys have turned into a heck of a 1-2 punch. I like it. I like what I'm hearing. Liking the Huskers this year. I just wanted to jump in on the hunted comment that I heard a little bit ago. 2 takes, and then I've got a food take for you on the way out.
Yes.
So I think that maybe you're right. Like, I don't know if there's any team that has, Nebraska circled in red and saying, like, these guys are way better than us. This would be an unbelievable win. And I think most of those teams that have beaten us in recent years are like, yeah, they're on the same level as us as we know it. However, I think they put the film on and they read the papers and they watch the film and they see the 5-star quarterback. They're seeing what we're seeing and they're going, that is a good team. And that would be a heck of a win, a heck of a quality win. So I think that's where it's at. I think my take on what the coach is saying is he thinks that his team is pretty good. And that's great to hear. And I think that's maybe kind of a stupid thing to say in some respects. Like, of course he thinks his team's good, but I think he really thinks
John,
they've got a quality team.
Yep, I know what you're saying, and I completely agree. He likes this group for sure.
Yeah, he thinks they can do some things. So it's been fun to watch so far this year. My food take on the way out, just for you to ponder, and I'll hang up, is Little King an elite sub sandwich shop?
Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Appreciate this. This is good food for thought.
Now,
literally.
John's bringing something to the show.
Okay. How many sub shops get to say they're elite?
I don't know if it's a set number. I mean, if you're an elite performer in the class, you're an elite performer in the class, right?
Well, but if there is, let's just say that there are 20 sub shops,
right?
We can't have 15 being elite.
That's right. Then it ceases to be elite,
right?
For sure.
So what we're saying is elite is that you're a standard deviation better or two than most of the other sub shops. You're a standout sub shop.
10%, 5%.
Sure.
How tight do you want to keep your tiers? How many tiers do you want to have?
I don't. Let me just answer the question.
Okay.
The way I interpret it.
Sure.
No.
I feel
no is my answer.
I feel like you think it's close, though.
I had to think about it. I had to do the parameters in my head a little bit. My answer is no. It is a good standard sub shop that I enjoy greatly.
I agree with the take that you just gave. I will say it gets a couple extra bonus points with me because it's so close to my house. I have one close to where I live.
Okay.
And that's just a me.
Your rating is your rating.
That's just a me being lazy thing.
Yeah. So you're saying no as well? Are you going a little higher than me?
Not elite, but
he said elite.
But
elite tier is the top tier, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Elite is top tier.
Star Wars Fiend says Connor just lost his no-hitter on a single up the middle.
Wow. Sad.
Wolfhound 08 says half of New Jersey is a sub shop.
I want to see that on No Context 1620.
Yeah, we'll get that
before the end of the day.
Bamon says it does get an A for a logo, though.
Let me make sure they're still rocking the logo.
I
I'm
think so.
thinking of.
They put that nice new one over there on Dodge. kind of right there in the corner.
See, I don't like this new logo. I like the old one, the classic king.
So the natural follow-up is, what is elite?
Sure.
Does only one sub belong in the elite tier?
Ooh.
Maybe you have to kind of divvy it out. Like, you almost have to divvy it out sub by sub.
At each,
like the individual sandwich. Like, okay, Subway's not elite.
No.
I really like Jimmy John's. I don't think it's elite.
It is convenient.
It is convenient. Let me give you one. I think Good Sense is probably pretty elite. That's a good sub.
They do good work.
That's pretty elite.
Mm-hmm.
Jersey Mike's?
I'm a fan of the original Italian, I think it is, at Jersey Mike's.
Yeah. I always have to tell them to go easy on the oil and vinegar, though. They really just dump that stuff.
I
on
like
it.
doing that and letting it sit in the fridge.
Really?
Yeah.
Then what happens?
Let it marinate just a little bit.
Like the bun gets all soggy?
No, it doesn't get soggy. It doesn't get soggy. But you know it's there.
Bayamon says Jason's Deli.
Haven't found my menu item there.
Not elite. Not elite.
I like what they do, but I just haven't found the one for
Do
me.
we have a McAllister's in Omaha?
Yes.
Not elite. Just thought I'd throw it in there though.
There's a new one in the Exarban food hall cafeteria thing.
A new sandwich?
Yes.
Shop?
Specifically a sandwich shop. Sub sandwich shop.
Intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Intriguing.
Maybe we do the show live from there one day.
Hello. I'd love to.
We
could get a great parking spot in it because it tells me how many parking spots are in the garage.
Not the eatery with all the others, in the sub shop. I want to be.
Oh, I want to be near the slicer.
I want to be in their way.
Gandolfo's. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I love the cut of their jib.
Yeah.
I love what's going on over there. Very close to Bagel Bin, by the way.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's a twofer.
Mm-hmm. That's probably elite. That's probably in the elite tier. Schlotsky's. Schlotsky's in the elite tier.
My wife is a Schlotsky's fanatic.
We've lost our country's Schlotsky's. We've lost our Schlotsky's.
These are just funny words in combination.
We've lost our Schlotsky's. We've lost our Quiznos.
I was never a huge fan of Quiznos. Now, I will admit that,
I miss Quiznos more than I should.
Yes.
I always liked Quiznos. But it's different, right? It's a hot toasted sub.
They're zagging.
It's not a deli sandwich. It's not a deli sandwich, not a fresh cut, that whole deal. But then, we start to throw the Picklemans into the equation?
The Witches?
The Picklemans, the Potbellies, the Witches. These are different areas.
I'll mess with a witch.
I like a witch, gigantic sandwiches.
Yeah.
Gigantic.
Yeah.
And you could just do whatever you want to it. You could be like, can I have a birthday cake on top of it? And they'd be like, great, sure, let's do it.
Sure. Kind of in the back. It's fine. Do you want it stacked tall or evenly across the sandwich?
I want it. Yeah, I want you to spread it out for me. Okay. Did we answer the question? I felt like I wanted to really take my time with that one.
The sandwich one, or is Nebraska the hunted?
No, the sandwich.
Okay. I think we gave it more time than the audience expected. Yes.
I think that much is most certainly true. We still have to do NFL reaction overreaction, which we'll just do next.
Ooh.
We do have a couple comments on Twitter. Husker Dave.
Hi, Husker Dave.
While they haven't beaten an opponent that justifies the hunted status, the increased attention to the program due to a certain true freshman QB. Oh, I thought you were going to hit me a Dylon there. That's why I thought you were going over there.
Dylon.
Thank you. Most certainly grabs the attention of Husker opponents. It does, but it's not established yet. It's not established yet. Just not there yet. Right. Not that they can't be there. It's just not there yet. It's a matter of time.
Rule's trying to prepare them for that next tier.
Sure.
Like, they are not there yet, but soon enough, they will be in the situation where they need to be playing championship football.
Here's Richard. I don't think Nebraska is the hunted yet. I think they are the Brendan Fraser of college football right now. We were huge in the 90s, went away for a while, and The Whale comes out, and we become the sexy pick for awards in the CFP. People like us again for now. Thoughts?
Surprisingly, not a bad comp. People are accusing our young Dylon of being a little.
They really don't like that he looks like Patrick Mahomes.
A little thicker. Brendan Fraser had to wear that fat suit for The Whale to get awards.
Pretty disgusting for that movie.
You need a thick lead man to get an award.
James writes in.
Hi, James.
Gentlemen, a sub shop cannot be elite if it is a chain. End of story. It's not elite if you can get it in any city in multiple places. That doesn't mean it's not good, but it's not elite. I think you have to think more like doozies.
Okay.
So Jeff says Razzies. Which one did we lose on 90th and Maple recently? We lost Razzies, right?
Yeah.
I always like Razzies.
Then I'd be more like a Phil's.
Yeah.
Not a sub per se.
No.
More
But
of a deli.
fresh cut meat.
Yeah.
With the gabagool. I don't know that we can really. That sounds like a good topic that we need to spend an hour on someday. But maybe today's not that day.
Probably not during football season. Maybe put it in.
We've already spent 15 minutes on it.
Put it in your phone.
Texter says Doozies makes a mean BLT. Another texter is saying that there's a Schlotzky's on 130th and Center, and they also sell pizza now. What's going on at Schlotzky's?
A lot, apparently.
Texter says which is elite. Hot take, an elite sub has to be toasted. There were other people saying I can't deal with the hot subs. I can't get by it. And then now people are straying into other conversations like First Watch is an elite breakfast establishment. Sure, but not in question.
Another day.
Another day.
On the breakfasts.
All right. NFL reaction, overreaction. We should probably do that.
Yeah.
Also, we have Storm Chasers playoff tickets to give away. We'll do that at the end of that segment.
Whoa.
Come back for more next on 1620 The Zone. more of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Coming up in just a couple minutes, your opportunity to win Omaha Storm Chasers playoff tickets. Hello. They are in the playoffs next week.
Playoffs.
Trying to win a ship, man. We're trying to bring this thing back to Omaha and bring that trophy back to Omaha or Papillion or La Vista.
La Vista.
Yeah, but it's Papillion, I think, though.
I don't know.
Bring that trophy back to Papillion. On the corner there, right over by the Amazon warehouse. That's what they're trying to do. That's what Nick Batters will say over the radio when they do it. Bring that trophy back to Papillion. All right.
We'll put it in an Amazon Dropbox. It'll be there waiting for us when we get back.
All right. The Riders have worked real hard this week. They underwhelmed us last week. They were kind of garbo. They sucked.
They didn't have a preseason.
Yep. They didn't have a preseason, just like the NFL players who are all hurt now. So let's see if they've recovered from this week. Josh, what do they have for us?
We begin with choose your 0-2 playoff team.
Whoa, that's not a reaction, overreaction at all. That's just a thing.
It's not. Right out of the gate, we're not getting the structure right, guys. Really?
I'm okay with it. I'll allow it.
I'm going to take away your Keurig machine for a week. Maybe these questions will get better.
I'll allow it.
Because I run this place.
Who will make the playoffs out of the 0-2 teams?
The 0-2 boys.
Here's a nugget for you. Since the NFL playoffs expanded to 14 teams in the 2020 season and shall never return again, 32 franchises have started the season 0-2. Only 2 of those 32 teams, equating to about 6%, made the postseason. Those teams were the Bengals in 2022 and the Houston Texans last year. Just 5 of the 32 teams finished the season with a winning record. Your 0-2 teams this year are, well, let's eliminate a couple. We can almost tier this out, like elite tier versus whatever. Panthers, see you later. Gone.
0-17.
Giants, gone.
They will be bad.
Broncos.
Nah.
This is where it gets a little bit more serious.
We're up a tier.
Colts, Titans, Rams, Jags, Ravens, Bengals. If there is a playoff team in that group, Josh, whom is it?
There's only 2 possible options. You take one, I'll take the other. I guess give me Baltimore if I'm picking first.
I don't trust them.
I don't love their chances, but
I don't trust them. I couldn't convince you on the Indianapolis Colts. This is our Colts. This is our team. I couldn't convince you on the Indianapolis Colts.
Not really.
A perennial overachiever with an electrifying quarterback.
Did you see that one throw, that one game?
Did you see that one throw, that one game? Exactly. That's my argument for that. I cannot make an argument for the Titans. I could make an argument for the Rams, who are once again injured.
Out 2 receivers.
Yeah. Not good.
The 2 good ones, too.
And you could obviously make the case for Baltimore and Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this. I think, like you said, Josh, the 2 obvious picks are Cincinnati and Baltimore. I wouldn't be fighting for either. I don't like either of them.
Some bad vibes in Cincy.
Yep. And we'll talk about the Bengals in just a second here in another question.
Oh.
But what they did with the Chiefs this past weekend does not really do much for me.
Doesn't sway you.
No. I actually think I'd be more likely, because of the divisions that they play in, I'd probably be more likely to make a case, like a good case for the LA Rams or the Indianapolis Colts in this question. But I'm not a believer in Mr. Richardson either. So
I see what you're saying.
Maybe there's 0 teams out of this who make the playoffs.
That there's a more analytical, because you love analytics, route to the playoffs versus, well, they have the good
I love
players.
analytics. We have to go find that on the broadcast.
I just wanted you to do that again. I guess
Sure.
I have it recorded on my YouTube TV. I could probably just find it if you tell me what time of the game it happened.
Oh boy.
Early.
It was
late?
early. It
Okay.
was early. It was before I went outside to. No, it was after I came back inside from mowing.
Was the result of the game still in question?
Not really. I want to say second quarter.
So Tyler Van Dyke was.
He was dead.
Dead.
Yes.
R.I.P.
Yes.
R.I.P. TVD. The NFC South is not only not a bad division, but a good one. A lot of double negatives in there, Riders.
Great job, Riders. The Falcons get a win on Monday Night Football against the Eagles. Take the Panthers out. They don't exist. They're not in a division.
Right.
The Saints are the best team in the NFL through 2 weeks. Undeniable.
This is the AL Central of divisions.
And Tampa Bay.
Many very good teams and one absolute dumpster fire of a team.
That is a great comp.
That's going to weigh everybody down.
That is a great comp. I don't think it weighs everybody down. I think it only propels those other teams.
Oh, sure. I mean, the Falcons, Bucks, and Saints get to play the Panthers twice this
Two
year.
times. They get 2 free wins each.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
They're just giving those out.
I'm not like, obviously the Saints have had a great start. I don't think they're as good as they've shown so far.
They will regress to the mean, but
I have always been this season. I've been interested in some dabbling in Baker Mayfield's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll dip my toe in on that.
A dabble.
I think they're all right. And I thought the Falcons would be better. It was nice for them to get that win, and now they play the Chiefs coming up. So I don't know. They're the undecided one. They're like the Tigers of this formula.
Winning last night has really masked the fact that Kirk Cousins is still out there on one leg because he's scared he's going to lose his job to Michael Penix Jr.
He's not ready.
Yeah.
He even said it last night. He's like, I'm still getting back. So that's a reaction.
Yeah.
It's a good division.
Yeah. The Miami Dolphins should arrange a trade for Russell Wilson.
Well, Josh, it's hard.
Oh.
This is a bit of a doozy here by the Riders. So Tua's not coming back.
You don't think so?
I think you should just be prepared for Tua to not come back.
I think there should be a plan in place should he not come back. I
mean, he's definitely not coming back anytime soon.
Right.
It will be several weeks at least.
You're certainly without him for a month.
I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking right now, but if I'm Tua, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure what Tua's going to do. But yes, you have to prepare to be without him. Is Skylar Thompson your answer?
Connor?
Trick question. The answer is no. He's not.
I'd rather lose with Skylar Thompson than win with Russell Wilson.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Josh. You sound ridiculous right now.
I don't care.
Why? Make the case for this.
I don't want that try hard anywhere near my organization.
He would fit horribly. He would fit horribly with Mike McD.
Imagine him.
Mike McD would hate him so much.
Hey, Tyreek, you really just need to be on time every day. You really need to stay out of trouble. Keep grinding.
Just make sure you roll those windows down.
You got to respect what the officers say.
Don't speed as much as you do.
Connor?
If we die, we die.
That's me if I'm Mike McD. I'd rather die with Skylar than live with Russell.
Oh, gosh. Now, there are other options, to be fair. There are other teams with extra quarterbacks, and there are free agent quarterbacks that exist. But
Adrian Martinez.
I wanted to take the most polarizing of them, and I found that.
Yeah.
I don't think that they should trade for Russell Wilson. I think that they should trade for anyone else.
That's a banger of a question, though.
Good job, Riders.
Mm-hmm. Are the Bengals good again, or are they just good at playing the Chiefs close?
They're just good at playing the Chiefs. I truly believe this.
There's something to
that team has bad vibes all over the place, but when they play the Chiefs, something comes out in them. They get angry. That game, it's that game, and then whatever big game that happens late in the season in the AFC North. You see, I mean, the hitting is just absurd. in that game. Like you could feel it more.
They're violent
through your television. And the Bengals and Chiefs do not like each other. Cam Taylor-Britt, our dear friend, added to that this prior to last week, and then he came up with a one-handed interception against the guy that he was talking so much smack on. That guy only runs straight, and look, there he was running straight down the sideline, and he was intercepting him. I don't think this does anything for me in like the general season picture for the Bengals. I just think they're really good at playing the Chiefs. I think they have that code cracked, and I think they get down to the last couple minutes with them. Not to say they win, because they rarely do, except for that one playoff game. But I just think they're really good at that. They're really good at playing the Chiefs, and I don't know. I'd kind of be surprised if they're like 500 at this point. I just don't think they're that good.
So here's what's going to happen, okay? Over the next month, they host Washington, at Carolina, they host Baltimore, and then they're at the New York Giants. Okay. They're going to go 3-1 in that stretch, if not 4-0. And people are going to tell you on their television, all the chit-chat shows, hey, the Bengals are back, guys.
Oh, they do what they do. They start slow.
Yeah, they start slow, notorious. Everybody knows this about the Bengals. Those issues in that locker room with that team have clearly been ironed out. They have not been. They've merely been masked by winning.
That can help, though, Josh.
Trust me. Jamar Chase, at some point in this season,
is
is going to verbally attack the organization from the inside.
That's a ticking time bomb.
Yes.
For sure.
There's going to be a day where he's got one catch with 3 targets, and he's just going to lose it.
2 more.
Caleb Williams is heading down the same path as Bryce Young.
Another spicy one. He is on a path as I think he is on a path. It's just so hard to tell. Like we were talking about with AB, I believed in him coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I thought their offensive line would be better. They do have weapons, but he is running for his life.
He is.
He is drowning out there in the pocket. And then he has to scramble, roll out, and make plays and force it into insane windows. I mean, he's looked horrible. He has looked awful. And it's almost has nothing to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is how it starts. And then all of a sudden you're broken. And then there's no coming back from it. And then you turn into, look at Baker Mayfield. Like Baker Mayfield we'll talk about him in a second, but like he's revitalized his career after getting out of bad situations with the Panthers and with the Browns.
3 weeks ago, a mere 21 days ago, we were all excited because the Bears offense was rejuvenated and back with all these weapons.
I was excited about them. I'll own that one.
In a can't miss prospect. And 3 weeks later, 2 games later, we're all like, maybe he's a bust. Maybe he sucks.
I don't think he's a bust, but I just think if you go too far down this path, you're in trouble. And it's hard to come back from.
I think they're going to draft them a big old hog molly up front.
They should try trading for a hog molly.
Poll question. Should they try trading for a hog molly?
Yes. Please do that poll question.
All right.
One more from the writers, though.
The Tampa Baker Mayfield career renaissance has been a joy to watch.
It has been. I just wanted to give some flowers to Baker here. Baker is great. Baker has changed his image. Baker has changed it's amazing what happens when you're out of horrible, horrible, horrible situations, which he had been in the majority of his career. He had the one, what was he, a Ram for a week, and he threw that game-winning touchdown pass a couple years ago, and he got a contract in Tampa, and we all thought, oh no, Baker's going there to die.
Mm-hmm.
And this is because they were post-Brady, and they're getting old, and it was going to be bad. Well, those old guys are kind of still around. Godwin was incredible this week. Evans is still there. Rashad White's, he's as there as he's ever been. They have a defense still. Levante David still there. Vita Vea still there.
Mm-hmm.
That team's good, and I wouldn't want to play them. They play football, man.
Definitely.
And Baker is a quarterback of a football team. That might sound like the most obvious thing ever, But that guy can play. I love what he does.
I thought he was annoying at Oklahoma. I thought he was annoying in the commercials when he was in Cleveland, but he has persevered and stuck to it, and I'm really happy for him. I
love you, Baker.
I'm like, wow, good for you.
When you come to Omaha to visit the wife's family, just say, stop at our nice new airport concessions.
Oh yeah, get yourself some of Guy Fieri's chicken.
The chicken guy.
The chicken guy.
We're chicken guys. All right, thank you. That's NFL reaction, overreaction. Great job, Baker. Omaha loves you.
Undoubtedly.
And all the way to the end, we'll support you. We're back with Jacob Bigelow next on 1620 The Zone.
That's the country song, right? Remember when?
Thank you.
Jacob Bigelow.
Yeah. Whenever my open is concocted, throw that in there.
He's on fire! Jacob Bigelow, Huskers Illustrated, on the Connor Happer Show, on 1620, The Zone.
Boom shakalaka!
All right. Welcome back, and we're joined now on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline by Jacob Bigelow of Huskers Illustrated. Hello, Jacob.
Hello, Happer. How are you?
I am very good. Well, I already asked you how you were. How are you recovering from the Saturday night banger that we had in Lincoln, Northern Iowa, and that was the Bigelow Bowl, I guess people were calling it. Is this correct?
People were, in fact, calling it the Bigelow Bowl, as I, the son of a Northern Iowa grad who was in attendance, got to see Northern Iowa come to Memorial Stadium, have a first drive that was a proper in memoriam tribute to the Big Ten West, 16 plays, 10 minutes, and just a field goal, not a touchdown. But that was about as good as it got for the old Panthers. But I've recovered well, and now I hear there may be a conference basketball schedule release before the end of the week. Things are happening. Things are happening in my world.
I'm told this is the case. So I don't know. I assume you'll do like a live show and a whole podcast about the conference schedule.
It's TBD. It's definitely in the cards. I don't know. I'll have to tell my producer to turn on the TikTok cam because we've got a Big Ten schedule coming our way on Thursday. But there will be content. I can tell you that. Some way. I hate that I just said that sentence, but there will be something that comes from me on Thursday.
There will be content, he says. Okay. Now you don't have to agree with me on this, but I wanted to get your take.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the Indiana Sans? How do you feel like Indiana football being like? How does that sit with you with their coach who likes saying things? And I checked the FPI this morning, and they're a 24% chance to make the playoff. You of basketball brain, Indiana basketball has taken up a good space in the college basketball world. How do you feel about them now that they may be good at football?
I am very open to them possibly being good, if for no reason other than the fact that, and I've said this before on this very program, I think college sports needs characters, and I think the Big Ten has itself one hell of a character in Kurt Cignetti, and if he can back up his personality and some of the things he says that may not be for everyone, like channeling his inner Bob Knight and targeting calls Mickey Mouse on Monday, like he did. I think college sports needs characters, and Indiana so far has backed up the character of their coach with the way they've looked on the field, albeit against some so-so competition, especially UCLA. I think my biggest thing that I took away on going back and watching part of that game was UCLA bad, but I am more than open to the Indiana Sans, especially, and if no other reason, it's for Kurt Cignetti.
Counterpoint: I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like how he just came in here and started saying all these things, and he takes over a program that's never done anything, and then they beat 3 nobodies by a lot in the first 3 weeks of the season, and now everybody's crowning them, and they want, the whole college football universe wants Indiana to go to the playoff now. I don't like how America's adopted them. I don't like any of it. I'm an old crusty man in this. I don't want Indiana anywhere near my championships.
Yeah, I don't know if near championships. I think I can maybe vibe with you on near championships, but I mean, I think they, and I think part of that is we had Joe Buck singing Indiana.
That was a big part of it, yeah.
Song on Monday Night Football last night. Him cutting a promo for the Indiana NIL Collective, which is I'm in for Indiana. The show that comes after you makes jokes about the Northwestern media deep state. There's an Indiana media deep state.
There
too.
is
a lot of people that come out of the IUJ school, so I think that plays a part in it too. But I've been around the program at IU for hoops, and I've heard some some good things from some people in Bloomington about Cignetti and the difference between how he goes about his business compared to Tom Allen. But no, I think I can vibe with you when it comes to 24% chance to make the playoffs. Maybe simmer that down a little bit.
So Indiana plays perfectly into this, but there has been a lot of this in Nebraska over the last probably I guess since they've beaten Colorado. It's looking at the schedule and then turning all of Nebraska's future opponents prior to them playing Ohio State into 05 Texas or something like that. Like they're all really good now, and Illinois, they come in with a ranking attached to them. How do you feel like Nebraska holds up in this game on Friday night, given I guess everything? I look at Illinois and I don't know that I'm totally blown away about what I see. But I know, people are really talking them up around here this week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm too blown away either. I mean, Luke Altmaier's been solid. He hasn't been, anything otherworldly. Maybe he's shown a little more mobility than years past. I feel like Illinois just always has one dude at receiver, who if they want to throw it up to him, there's a good chance he can go get it. I feel like that's kind of always been a thing with Illinois football. Yeah. And then they just play tough as hell. But that's, we'll hear it plenty about Brett Bielema knows Big Ten football. He coaches Big Ten football and all that. But I think Illinois is kind of ranked by default. They're an undefeated Big Ten team. They do have a ranked win over KU, who appears to have been rather overvalued coming into the season. But I think Nebraska holds up pretty well. I mean, I'm not, if you're looking at this next run of games for Nebraska, I don't think Illinois is near the top of the worry meter, even if we're all in the process of crowning, the rest of the Big Ten.
Okay, so that brings up a good question then. You look at the next 4 prior to Ohio State, rank them by difficulty. Illinois, at Purdue, Rutgers at home, and at Indiana.
Ohio State is number 1.
No. Ohio State, it's pre-Ohio State. Ohio State doesn't count.
Pre-Ohio State.
Yes.
Pre-Ohio State. Okay. At Indiana, Rutgers at home, Friday night, and then Purdue.
At Indiana, Rutgers at home, Illinois, and then Purdue. I don't know that I disagree with you. I might flip Rutgers and Indiana, but the Indiana thing being on the road is, makes it a little bit more tricky. Yeah, I like that.
And I've been vibing with you on Rutgers most of the offseason too, and that is in part because of their coach too, in Shiano. And I think Indiana being at Indiana, say what they will about that stadium, and they're set up for football. I know I know Nebraska is almost everybody's homecoming game this year, so that's probably Indiana homecoming, and they'll find a way to blow it up and blow it out if Indiana's unbeaten, and it'll be a big party. So I mean, that's kind of my biggest thing. My biggest thing with this Nebraska team right now is I'm just waiting to see them play on the road. 4 games to start the season at home, including your conference opener, the marquee big emotional game against Colorado. That's the pretty, I don't want to call it a godsend, but compared to how previous years have started, that's a pretty nice runway to open up your year. So
it is.
I mean, that's my biggest question. Right now, is I'm kind of just waiting to see how they look on the road.
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot over the last couple of weeks. Jacob Bigelow's with us from Huskers Illustrated. I've thought about that a lot, and I think we have some indications, right? We don't know for sure yet how they'll react in these close games or road environments or really, really big. Now, I guess they passed the test of the really, really emotional Colorado game, or maybe you could argue that they were just better than them, and that's what took over in the game. Do you have a sense of how that will be once we get to those moments? Because we all agree they're going to be in close games. They're going to be in a few of them, more than a few of them potentially down the stretch. I feel like there are some indications that Nebraska will handle these things a lot better, most notably by the fact that they've only turned the ball over one time and it was meaningless so far this year.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think there are signs. There are some telling signs. Mostly, I mean, how the man in charge and how the leaders on the team carry themselves. It is very almost NFL like. It's all business. It's process. It's one game at a time. It's never too high, never too low. It's very professional from top to bottom, and that seemed to be the message and the mantra for Matt Rhule in year 2. So there are definitely some indicators. I don't think that if something the first half goes wrong, I don't think he's going to be like given the Will Ferrell old school, we've got to maintain our composure talk at halftime. He might be. Maybe that would make for quite the chasing three, followed by saying ruin their season. But I think they're definitely indicators. I think it's a very workmanlike, business-like program, and they're never gonna they're never gonna show their hand too easily emotionally. But I think what their goal is on both sides of the ball, and how they're gonna approach every game.
Your thoughts, Jacob, before we let you go on the announcement regarding Omaha's cool, new, awesome airport today.
I have been pretty busy this morning, so I missed the announcement. Fill me in.
Yeah. So they are introducing a variety of new local restaurants to the Omaha airport via or in 2027 or 2028, whenever this opens. And some of them are interesting, like Runza. You could get off the plane and grab a Runza at the airport in a few years. You could get off the plane and grab a Block 16 burger in a few years. Intriguing. You could get off the plane and buy a pitch wood-fired pizzeria, or you could buy the pizza, not the pizzeria. There's just going to be more options than right now. I believe we have Blimpie, Taco Bell, and then a lot of places to buy beer and alcohol. But that's pretty much it.
So it's going to be like flagship commons at the airport.
That's not a bad way to put it.
Yeah.
That's not a bad way to put it. Yeah.
So that's what that sounds like to me. It sounds like flagship commons at the airport. I cannot wait for all the college baseball writers who wax poetic about the Drover to have their first airport croque garçon in a couple summers. And, that'd be the new thing that they wax poetic about. But I'm very intrigued there. I look at how they massacred my boy Cracky McGee's Piers. Look at how they massacred my boy. But no, look at Omaha go. Look at big airport coming soon. The list of things that we can just refer to as big continues to grow. But I'm very intrigued by that.
We'll be a real town in short order. We'll be a real town in short order. Appreciate it, Jacob. We will let you go. Oh yeah. You got weirdo Jack Mitchell softball team tonight?
We do, yes. It is the last night of the regular season tonight, and we are still in search of our first win of the fall.
I'm sure you'll definitely get it coming up soon.
I'm sure we will definitely get it. We are definitely not playing a 5-0 team that has won all of their games by 10 runs or more. We are not doing that.
Maybe they'll rest their starters.
Maybe they're trying to rest up for the postseason, but we still got that tonight at 7, and so I still got a busy week, but I appreciate the time like always, guys, and I'll see you Friday.
Yep, see you later. That's Jacob Bigelow of Huskers Illustrated in the Stretch Big Pod. I can't believe that Jack is still doing that team.
Nick Grimm yet to win a softball game.
Shocking. A team with Nick Grimm on it can't win a softball game.
Is he the Bryce Young?
And they already had trouble winning softball games of any kind. And then they got
But they did win
Nick
before
Grimm.
Nick got there.
They did. They won maybe twice.
They were a 1 seed.
I just Jack, just pack it in, man.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's no shame in it. There's no shame in it. You guys,
You had to run.
Yeah, it was a good bit on Twitter. Funny.
You grabbed the
Very,
hearts
very
and
funny.
minds of a couple communities.
Very funny. You get a bunch of people together, and you're like, oh, we're the ragtag. We could be like the Benchwarmers from the movie The Benchwarmers. That's probably what you were thinking. And then you put the team together and you realized, oh, we actually have to pay money to do this, and we have to do it. Can't be fun. Just talking to the various members of the team can't be very fun.
But they go out each week, and
I guess they try.
I've heard they try.
Yeah. Which maybe makes it worse.
Are you accusing them of throwing games?
No, I am not.
Okay.
No, I am most certainly not. I know they're bad. Can't trick me there. All right. We will return. A couple more things left to get to. We could get to Riley Van Poppel. Also, that NFL style thing we probably won't have time for today.
Doesn't seem like it.
No. But, or we can talk more about sandwiches. Whatever. Back after this on 1620 The Zone. Steve writes in on Twitter. Hey guys, are we going to get to the Caitlin Clark stuff today?
Look, man, we didn't have time to get to all the Matt Rhule stuff we wanted
We
to get
ran
to
out of
today.
time, Steve. I only have one more story, and it's very important that we say it here in this segment.
Oh.
And it's not about Caitlin Clark. Although, we really should get to that Caitlin Clark thing. It just keeps evolving.
That's the exact phrase I was thinking
It just keeps changing. Mm-hmm. There's something new every day.
Every day.
We could talk about it every day, but we just, it should be the first thing. All right, fine. Tomorrow, it'll be the first thing.
Right out of the gate.
We'll talk about that Caitlin Clark story. I promise.
Fave this tweet.
No, we have this from this morning. This is shook the college football world.
To its core?
To its core, Josh, like many things in these uncertain times. Tennessee is apparently pretty good at football.
They got a quarterback.
I think they're going to wreck Oklahoma this weekend. They are preparing for a world in which schools pay athletes directly by charging fans a talent fee to pass along to the players. What's that mean? I'm sure you're wondering.
Yes, definitely.
Well, what was the other thing that was on your mind, Josh?
Kind of a lot of is this legal and all those sort of things.
Oh, okay. I have that answer.
Oh, okay.
Though the House versus NCAA settlement that would usher in an era of revenue sharing has yet to be approved by a federal judge, Tennessee Athletic Director Danny White told On3 that his school will implement a plan to add a 10% surcharge to all season and single game ticket sales. If the settlement is approved, schools will be allowed to pay out about $22 million to athletes a year beginning in the 25-26 school year. So in order to recoup some of this $22 million extra that they'll have to be spending to pay the student athletes, Tennessee has decided they cannot handle that. They'd like to have you pay it forcibly.
Well, we have talked about many times in the offseason. How many times did we say the phrase?
Oh, additional revenue generators.
$22 million item line.
$122 million. All the athletic directors are worried about this. I wonder why. Because they like it when their thing says plus. They like it when it goes above. They like it when they come in under budget.
Spreadsheet plus.
Yes, they love it. It's their favorite thing. Is the money there? Could you find a way to make the money be there without adding a 10%, by the way? Hello. On a college football ticket?
Yeah.
As if you're already not getting smoked on the fees and the convenience and the whatever. You're going to get another 10% tacked on there to go to a college football game? I mean, this is kind of absurd. White estimates that with the new roster caps included in the settlement, which would raise the number of available scholarships, the actual cost could be closer to $30 million. Well, actually, Andy Staples, it's $30 million a year instead of 22. Tennessee hopes to recoup about $10 million of that through the surcharge, which will come in addition to a football ticket price increase averaging 4.5% across all seats. Not only are they adding fees to your tickets, they're adding the ticket price itself.
I am on the Ticketmaster website. Their game against Florida on October 12th.
Give me a number.
Lowest price, $362.70.
$362.70 times 0.1. Is that how you do it?
That doesn't sound right.
No, times 0.01.
Move the decimal one place
0.01.
over.
What was it? 362? 362?
Yeah. $36 roughly.
There you go, Josh. Thank you.
That's the 10% talent.
Genius. 0.01. Yeah. That's a lot.
That would push you over $400 for the ticket. Now, this is just on Ticketmaster for one game, but
White, the athletic director, Mr. White. Mr. White. He says it's a talent fee. It's going directly to the talent. It's going to our student athletes as part of this new world order in college sports. So I know our fans will embrace it. Certainly. White said the best comparison is restaurants charging large groups an automatic fixed gratuity atop the price of the meal. Tennessee might be the first school to add such a fee, but expect plenty of copycats. Oh, I do expect it.
Yes.
As college sports economic model evolves, schools will need to find a way to fund player compensation without forcing donors to choose between players and the capital projects and administrative costs they've traditionally helped fund. Yeah, I do think they're going to have to do some choosing, for the record.
Now, in late November, Tennessee plays our good friends over at UTEP.
You can go to the UTEP game for how much?
$64.
$6 and 4 cents or 40 cents, whatever. I'm very good at math, Josh. People are saying this. I am not a fan.
I don't like this.
I am not a fan. I don't like when stuff is more expensive. It's already have you heard of Bidenflation? It's already there.
And it's definitely one of those things where if you're the kind of people who go to the game, like, you've got me already, I'm going no matter what the price is. I don't care.
Yeah, that's what they're banking on.
Yeah.
Tommy says, I'm assuming the 10% increase will only go to tickets purchased directly from the school, not these aftermarket sites like Ticketmaster. Yeah. Ticketmaster's through the school. Like, there's official providers and they use their website interface and stuff like that. Sometimes, I don't know. But no, it will not be applied to secondary ticket markets. However, the secondary ticket markets are buying the tickets off of the school, or, at some point it comes from the school, right? At some point it comes from the school. And so those fees, if they pop up on a secondary ticket market, are going to be passed off onto whoever the buyer is. Simple. Like, that's how it works. If the person who's buying it and selling it has to buy it for more money, they're going to have to sell it for more money too. Am I wrong about this? I don't know math, but I do know that.
Many are commenting that you don't know math.
Sean says, good God, 10% isn't that hard, Connor. I know. I overthought it.
Yeah, I think that was your problem.
Platcat writes in.
Hi, Platcat.
Happer not being able to do basic math. Math is a rough day to run this poll of who runs the show. Scott says math is hard. Well, who is that? Britney Spears doing something on a whiteboard?
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. It's not Britney Spears.
Are you sure? No.
Pretty sure.
Maybe Britney Spears' sister?
Wearing far too many clothes to be Britney Spears.
It's true. Can you believe that, Josh, you're supposed to be outraged at the plan, not me being able to do math incorrectly.
Oh, sorry. I'm pointing out the wrong things.
I'm outraged.
It's just greed.
I am outraged about this, actually. I saw this come across this morning and I thought, oh, no, this is bad. Because one thing this story is correct about, there will be copycats.
Yes.
There will be copycats.
Because I can tell you, I can sit in your living room as the coach and say, 10% talent fee coming right to you. Oh, you want to go to Nebraska? Oh, they don't do that over there.
Yeah. Even though they're getting the athletes are getting paid.
Right.
You know, out of the same, whatever. It's the $22 million, the $30 million fund or whatever. The university just wants to find a way to recoup it.
I'm definitely going to recruit by telling you that, over there at Georgia, their checks won't clear. Yep. The checks will clear here.
Hey, Trev is no good trader. But he did say something right.
Take his name off the stadium.
He said, we don't have a money issue in college athletics. We have a spending issue. That's pretty much the story here. And one thing that I did appreciate about Trev is he was very creative in finding other avenues to, he talked about it all the time. The money that was coming in that they have to pay the student athletes going forward. Constantly. But he's a creative person. And sometimes that meant like firing people, like every little dollar mattered to Trev. Trev is a pretty detailed guy. So I think he was right about that. All right, we'll come back with the polls. We'll tell you what to watch next on 1620 The Zone.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
To the polls at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. We'll find out a lot about ourselves today by answering these poll questions.
It's important to vote whenever you have the opportunity, but today more than ever.
Do you know what Oregon State feels about things? I do not.
How could I?
I do not. 88% say no. While pumping gas is stopping at 5 cents a safety net for missing the flat dollar. Now, are you saying this is sort of
It's a
interestingly worded?
It's a horrible cop-out by Gary.
It is. Is that what we're asking?
Yes, that was the intent
Because
of the
like,
question.
technically, yes, 5 cents is a safety net, but I don't want it to be.
Okay, I see where the wording is a little confusing there now.
It's a bit ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
63% said no. Did you get what you wanted out of that?
I don't really know anymore.
Bring back old crusty media? Yes or no? Yes.
Shocking myself, I found myself on the side of yes.
We should be mad at Indiana. 72% say yes.
Wow.
That's kind of surprising. 2 more? Well, let's do the most recent one first. Should they trade for a big old hog molly?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You never go wrong doing that.
81% say yes. And finally, the most voted on poll question of the day.
That's right. How'd you know?
Who runs the show? Connor Happer or producer Josh? This was tweeted by @Happer Show. Name the Connor Happer Show. Who runs the show? I'll vote for myself, just as I would as if I was running for president. And just as I would if I was running for president, I would lose handily to Josh Hodson.
In a landslide.
81% think that Josh runs the show. Tough day for me. But I had so many good takes today.
Oh, no, the takes were
I thought
fire.
you guys would enjoy. I thought you guys would vote for me today.
Can I get some flame emojis in the chat? The takes were fire today, but I keep the train running.
Those are the polls, Josh. What are we watching tonight?
We are watching MLB. That's baseball. Phillies, Brewers, 6:40 on TBS. And then True TV is doing a little something interesting tonight. The MLB Race to the Pennant live look. It's squeeze play. Okay, that's what this is. Like, let's. I could read you the description, but it's squeeze play for 2.5 hours tonight before a baseball game on True TV. The Houston Astros and the San Diego
playoffs.
Padres, and 8:40 start for that one. And then Yankees Mariners 8:40 on MLB Network. 3 WNBA games to get to, none of them featuring Caitlin Clark. New York and Washington 6 o'clock on NBA TV. Vegas up in Seattle 9 o'clock on NBA TV, and then a 9:30 start in La La Land for Phoenix and Los Angeles. CBS Sports Networks, where you can find that one. 9 o'clock on FX or Hulu or however one watches FX programming. I'm not really sure.
I stream it on Max.
That's right. 9 o'clock, you get the first 2 episodes of American Sports Story, Aaron Hernandez.
Oh, yeah, I'm out.
Explore the rise and fall of NFL superstar Aaron Hernandez. Patrick Schwarzenegger co-stars. That's right, Patrick Schwarzenegger.
I'm very out.
Connor, this will be up your alley instead. 6 o'clock on E tonight. Vegas Vacation is on.
Hell yeah! I won the money. The money is mine. I won the money. He just dies.
And then Hulu has a documentary premiere, Child Star. Follow Demi Lovato as she interviews fellow child stars, including Drew Barrymore, Kenan Thompson, Christina Ricci, Raven Simone, and JoJo Siwa.
Oh, like child stars of my time.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, it didn't go well for a lot of them.
No, it did not.
Just like the child stars of John Bishop's era.
That's right.
That's right.
Maybe more notably, not well for them.
Yes.
These guys have had a tough time too. We love seeing a train wreck. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
So we're watching tonight. That's the show. If you missed anything, you could find it all. We had a great show today, run by Josh. Thanks, Josh.
Yep. I get the credit and the blame.
1620thezone.com. The crossover is next.